Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics are now 1-1 on their three-game road trip after coming up short in San Antonio last night, 125-116. Victor Wembanyama made 8 threes in this one for the winners. He finished with 39 points in all. Derek White scored a season-high 34 for the Green, and Jaylen Brown ejected in the first half after picking up 2 technical fouls. Celtics wrap up this road trip against defending champion Oklahoma City tomorrow night. In other NBA news, Bam Adebayo scored 83 points last night. Miami beat the Washington Wizards 150-129. It's the second highest point total for one man in one NBA game ever. Bruins got an overtime goal from Charlie McAvoy to win their 13th straight home game, 2-1 over the LA Kings at TD Garden. Marco Sturm saw McAvoy get hit in the mouth again, come back, and still win it for him.
He's a competitor, and he knew he probably wasn't his best, but he played a very, very good third period, scored a beautiful goal in OT. So yeah, no, it was nice to see.
Mason Lowry scored the other goal for the Bruins. They host San Jose tomorrow night. Patriots have signed Green Bay free agent wideout Romeo Doubs to a reported 4-year, $68 million contract with $12 million more possible in incentives. The Baltimore Ravens have pulled out of the Max Crosby trade with the Raiders over a failed physical. Red Sox lost to Detroit and Fort Myers 7-2, and a shocking upset loss for the U.S. They were beaten by Italy 8-6 in the World Baseball Classic. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Rodenhiser Home Services. You could win a new high-efficiency gas furnace from Rodenhiser if your furnace is 10 years or older, outdated and unreliable. Go to Rodenhiser.com/5 free furnaces to enter. That's Rodenhiser.com/5 free furnaces. No purchase necessary. Rules online. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
NFL free agency is here, and we've got it covered on air and at 985thesportshub.com/offseason.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. And, of course, our podcast is available for download wherever you get your wonderful podcast. A big show on the way today. Mike Reese, Chris Forsberg, Ryan Johnston. That's all 3 major sports besides baseball. All the ones that we have here at the station.
All the ones that, we care about.
Right.
Come on.
I mean, the World Baseball Classic's going on, and the United States might not make it to the next round, which is, I'm being told, and the tiebreakers and everything. I did not know that the United States lost to Italy until I came in this morning.
Disgraciado.
And that would be just the greatest. If they didn't make it, it would be absolutely fantastic. There's a very good chance of that happening because Italy is undefeated and Mexico's good. And Mexico has to beat Italy, but only lose by less than 4 runs.
Mexico wins, and they score 4 runs or less. The U.S. is out, and Mexico and Italy go on.
Okay, that would be great. I really would get a kick out of that. That would be a lot of fun. Yesterday, I coached my last practice for one of my children. By my estimate, because my son turns 18 this year, by my estimate, that's got to be 15 years of coaching, because I probably coached my son starting when he was 3. I coached soccer once. I coached baseball probably 12 times in the spring and maybe 6 times in the fall. I coached basketball probably 9 times. So that's quite a bit of coach. And then my daughter I coached for 5 years.
So this will be the last time you think you're asked to coach or will have the opportunity to coach?
Well, my son's a junior going into his junior spring year of baseball. There's no coaching him anymore. I mean, he travels like the country. I'm not coaching that. Even though I'm not positive I couldn't. There's not a lot of coaching
your son has outgrown whatever it is that you can teach him at this point. But
that was a while ago too. But it's like, you're just basically babysitting because they're just a expensive tryout for all these these teams. It seems like, except for high school. High school is an actual thing, but. And then my daughter is a freshman, and this is it for like rec league basketball, and this is the only sport she plays anymore. And I don't even know if she'll play outside of high school next year. Like she's not super into it.
Did she enjoy her experience playing basketball for her high school this year?
She did. So she'll play for her high school next year. It's a very good situation. It was no cut this year, for some reason the middle school was not, but the high school was no cut. Not a lot of girls playing basketball, which was really good for her because I don't know, like if it was super competitive, if she would have made it.
It's just the one middle school in their district, right?
No.
Oh, they have multiple middle schools?
They have 3.
Why would they have cuts then?
Bigelow, Day, and Oak Hill. So I don't know. And I don't even know why you wouldn't just let the girls practice. There's no pressure to win in middle school. Like a varsity team in high school, like you're expected to do well. That is true. Look, it's not the NBA, but I mean you are expected to win, and you kind of owe it to the girls or players on any team to try to be competitive because, you would think that these students have played their whole lives. By the time they're varsity players, they play a lot of basketball during the course of the year. Like you want to put them in an opportunity to win. You play the best players, so on and so forth. That I understand. Middle school was fascinating to me because there's nothing on the line. I don't even know if they keep records. It's ridiculous. I think that the Newton middle schools pretty much just play themselves. It's like just a round robin of 3 teams. It drove me crazy that if a girl wanted to play, it's just exercise at that point. That's the only reason I wanted Zoe to play is so she would run. Because you're a kid, you should be running around. And, what am I going to go? Hey, join a gym and run? Like, that's no fun. Like, play a game. Being on team. And so for some reason in high school, she was able to do that. She was not able to do that in middle school. But this is the end of rec league. And so,
Have you considered being the vanguard and instigating like maybe a new sport? Now, I don't know at her school whether or not they have an ultimate team, but, I'd be more than happy to serve as like an assistant if you end up coaching like an inaugural season of ultimate. And it can be girls, it can be co-ed. There's a lot of different ways we can do this.
Well, first of all, you would end up taking over. I would just be a puppet regime.
Thank you.
See,
thank you for stating what I didn't want to say, but okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I would be a puppet regime. And so I would be coach in name only. So does that even count as coaching when you're just standing there? That would be kind of like the year I had to coach girls soccer.
You could be like the Paterno up in the booth. Not the best example, but, you'd be up there in the skybox just watching. So in name, you would be the head coach. I'd be the one down on the field.
Now, Paterno, when I saw him, was not in a box, but he was also not on the right side of the field. He was a wanderer.
No.
Yes, and this was a long time ago. I saw Penn State play Ohio State at Penn State. My ex-wife went to Penn State. You all know the story if you've listened to the show about how I showed up. I got up early in the morning with my wife at the time. Went to the bagel place she went by her sorority. Did all these things. The game was at 3:00. Noon hit, and she had a bunch of friends there. And I said, let's go get effed up. Come on. There were old men with bottles of Jack walking down the street. I mean, it was a big party. And they were all tuckered out from the night before, and they didn't want to go do anything. So I walked around the tailgate with my ex-wife. We were, younger, like we were probably late 20s, 30, or well, if I was married, it's probably like 31. And my wife was good looking, so I'd send her into a tailgate and they'd be like, hey, what do you want? And then I'd sneak up behind and go, hi. And we would just drink there. But anyway, so they were playing Ohio State. It was like a big ABC game. And say the ball was on the 20. I'm not joking. This is not an exaggeration. They had the redheaded kid that got in trouble during the whole molesting thing. He basically was the coach of the team. And Paterno was in like a coat, like literally walking 50 yards away, like just meandering around the sidelines away from everyone, like kind of on an island. He didn't have a headset. He didn't have anything. So that's what they were up to then. But, yeah, so if I did Ultimate, I mean, I would just be a name only. It'd be like when I coached, they couldn't get anyone to coach my daughter's soccer team like a few years ago. So I said I'd coach because I have the time, like, right, because of our schedule. And after one game, some, English guy said, I'll just coach. Like, without saying it.
Yeah.
Where were you 2 weeks ago? What
Yeah, I didn't get that. Like, I didn't.
You want to come in and take over? Fine. Why didn't you volunteer 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's like kind of. I felt the same way. I was
the
like,
best. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, why did I? And I said very plainly, I don't know anything about soccer. I don't know how to play. I don't know how to coach this. And they're like, it's fine. You're basically just a babysitter. And I went, okay. And then this guy that couldn't have been bothered to coach it before. So now I got to come to every practice and every game, more every practice and stay for the practice when I don't know what I'm doing. And the fun thing about the soccer was I didn't care to learn. So I was just like, I'm just going to kind of, you guys do whatever you want. I'm not going to, I'm not doing anything. I'll make sure everyone plays the same amount of time, but that's about it. And, the guy had very little patience for it. So then all of a sudden he had the time. When all the emails went out and then they were begging for coaches and said, we can't have a team unless someone steps up.
So soccer, which I assisted on, you can get the hang of. You can figure that out. I had volunteered to be an assistant for the first season of girls lacrosse in Parkway, which is, a big baseball league. Parkway Little League is huge, but and they had boys lacrosse, but this is going to be the first time they had girls lacrosse. My daughter wanted to play. I'm like, okay, I'll be there at practice to, set up the cones and, do stuff and help, wrangle the kids. But the other coach who had, a real job and, couldn't be there. So I ended up doing a lot of the majority of the coaching, and I had no idea. I was panicked, man, because these girls were showing up to play lacrosse, and they didn't know how to throw the ball back and forth. I said, neat, neither do I. I have no idea. So, I'd go on YouTube and get tutorials to figure out, how do you teach a kid to throw a lacrosse ball back and forth? And it was all I could do just to get them to hold the stick the right way and to have some, just a little bit of be able to pass it back and forth to where next thing you know, it's like first game. The rules in girls lacrosse are an absolute mystery. Like I had no clue what I was doing.
There was no checking for a long time.
Well,
Yeah.
at this level, there is no checking, but you can't even like get in the way of somebody who has the shooting lane.
Right.
You have to sit, you have to clear out. Meanwhile, I'm yelling at these girls, get in there, block, force them to the outside. Just normal sports, what you would do in any game, right? If you don't know what you're doing on defense, force them to the outside. That's what I used to tell my daughter when I was, an assistant in soccer. I'm like, because she loved to play defense. I said, your only job is to go out there and that kid who's, coming down the field with the ball is to ruin their day. They're trying to score a goal. Yeah. You just make sure they don't. And the best way for you to do that is force them to the outside. And that was good enough. I figured, that'll work for lacrosse too. Nope. So, thank God most of the officials took mercy on me and they would call a few of these things, and then after a while they would just let stuff go because the girls on our team, because of me, really had no idea what they were doing. I just tried to make it fun. at practice.
That's all that matters at that level, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's seriously.
You just want the kids to play the next year. That's the only thing.
That's the thing.
What's the old saying? You never want to be a kid's last coach.
Right. So
Yeah.
I also coached flag football. I forgot. So I did a little bit of math just now. I believe 32 seasons in total of coaching that I did, and that could be low. Between fall and spring baseball, basketball for both kids, and flag football.
Oh, I did some flag football coaching too.
And flag football had the biggest dicks that were, because me and the coaches used to shower after the game. No, had the like that was the team that was the sport where guys took it the most seriously, which was hysterical to me because that's the sport that's not a sport. Yeah. So I did think that like when coaches would be having meltdowns, which didn't really happen in the other sports, in like even Little League baseball is baseball. I mean, it's not well played, but essentially it's baseball. Now it's station to station. There's no stealing. There's some tweaking to the rules, but and even if it's coach pitcher, there's a pitcher and a batter. Flag football is in no way, shape, or form anywhere near football. The strategies are completely different. It's just you play with the same ball, but other than that, there's nothing the same. I mean, you don't hand the ball off, really. I mean, there's no blocking. I mean, like so much of it. I mean, tackling, right?
But and I'll let you finish. When coaching, and I only coach girls flag football, that was the most fun I had.
No, see, it wasn't for me. Because I just was like, okay, this is like kind of like a joke, and then these other coaches would be like yelling and screaming and carrying it on, and one coach started crying. I'm not crying.
Oh man!
No, it was a teenager, older teenager, but my son caught a ball. This was I was assistant coaching. This is last year I coached. My son caught a ball in the end zone, and that would have won a game, like a playoff game. But the officials said that time had run out.
Okay.
And I don't know quite how that worked, but time had run out. And this guy punted the ball away and then began sobbing. And I had not done anything with the team all year, and I had to gather the kids together and go, I don't know what's going on over there, but I wouldn't worry about it. And they were like, cool. And I'm like, all right, bye. And no one cared except for the coach. Now, that was more of I think, a emotional issue. But, these coaches would – because, first of all, you'd get people from, like, all these different towns. So that's, like, a whole situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bringing in the ringers.
Well, or bringing in psychos, and then so you would come in, and then there would be these guys like throwing fits, and I'd be there's 17 games going on. You're playing on these like dumbass like barely lined fields. It's just clown game with no rules, and it's all nonsense. It's all guys like on probation, refereeing the thing. it's like an NFL sponsored. It's all like there's like Subway signs up, not like the sandwich company Subway, like signage up. It's like it's a disaster. But whatever, you throw the ball around, like you have fun. Like, what do I care? Like, who wants to be quarterback, right? But who cares if you win this stupid flag football game? Because I can tell you, I am not an intense coach. That I promise you.
I believe you.
Yeah, I'm good coach. Good coach. Kids like me. Very loose.
When I was doing the flag football, I tried to get a couple of plays from Zoe. I'm like, hey, give me a couple of plays.
That must have been interesting.
Teach these kids.
Oh, baby.
So I show up and I start trying to teach them like Spider 2 Wide Banana. And I'll I'll never forget this girl. Her name is Maeve. Maeve Coppinger. She's great, like little athlete. She was the smallest one on the team. And she was intense. And if anybody I thought was going to be into this, it would be her. And I'm trying to teach them this play. And she goes, let's just do the crying play. I said, what's the crying play? And this was her design where you set up on the line of scrimmage and one or more girls drops down to the field and pretends to cry. The opposing team goes, what's wrong? What's going on? You then snap the ball and then run it past everybody who is standing there bewildered as to why someone on the other team is down on the field crying.
That's great. I like that.
It only worked once per game, but it always worked.
That's awesome.
That is really good.
How old are these girls you were coaching at the time?
They were probably like 11.
Yeah, that fits. You could do that.
Yeah. 10 or 11. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so there you go. And then Saturday will be the last games that I coach. So and there you go.
You're going to get a coach's gift?
No, I don't think I've ever gotten. Maybe like once or twice I've gotten a coach's gift.
Yeah, I got one once.
Yeah,
it was nice.
It's usually a Dunkin' gift card.
Mine was to Dick's.
Yeah.
The Dick's Sporting Goods. They went down to the Dick's in Dedham there right before the game, and brought it up. It was nice.
All right. A lot happened in sports last night. Both local teams played. There was a major NFL situation happening. Someone set a record in the NBA. A lot going on last night. Like I said, the United States men probably won't get to it in what happened last night with everything else that happened, but United States men lost, which is pretty funny. So we will have all of that in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
was talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hi, we are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what happened last evening in the world of sports?
We will start with the Boston Celtics, who were taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Let's just, and this is a great game from the jump. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, both in the game. Peyton Pritchard was out last night with neck spasms, but very tight game, back and forth. Let's go toward the end of the second quarter here, when Jaylen Brown is fighting for a ball along the sidelines, gets shoved, and things did not go well.
3:43 to go in the first half. Jaylen Brown pressured along the sideline, got bumped, lost it out of bounds. Once they didn't call the foul, it was going to be a turnover. Jaylen palms up to the sky. Can't believe there was no foul there.
Yeah, it was a push in the back.
He is chasing down Tyler Ford. He is barking at him. Fans want a technical. Tyler Ford narrows the technical. And now Jaylen Brown goes to another official. Somebody better go grab Jaylen. And now finally, Shireman, Derek White, they've got to step in front of Jaylen. They threw him out. They threw him out. Backside official on a nationally televised game.
Then he had to be held back, I just saw.
Yes, that's right.
He was coming after the ref. He was going to beat him up.
I don't know what the nationally televised game, how that enters into it. How does that enter into it?
He's the best player. He's having a great year.
Not the best player in the game.
No, best player on one of the teams.
No, so
fans in theory would come to watch that guy, so you shouldn't throw him out of the game. That's where national TV factors in. If you're the NBA, you want your best players playing in front of a national audience.
Okay.
That's good. Different rules for
different rules for broadcast
for a Tuesday night.
Yep,
8:00 game.
So Jaylen Brown,
there are hundreds of thousands of people watching that game.
Correct.
You notice I did not say millions.
Two technicals back to back there. He argued the call. They teed him up for it. He walked away. He went back to, kind of to get his money's worth, and he had turned again. But he managed to get through a third time, as I saw it, and that's when the official from the other side of the court came over and gave him the second technical.
See, I don't. He went nuts. It was a call that should have been made, wasn't made. It happens dozens of times a game, whatever. He got upset, more upset than I thought he should have been. Anyway, he goes after the ref, who is the crew chief, and in theory, the most experienced guy of the three that's out there. Crew chief tees him up. Jaylen Brown goes nuts. Okay, I think this is a bit excessive, but the key here is the crew chief sees him coming, points at him, and says, "Get out of here." So the crew chief understands what's going on here. Get out of here. And as soon as he does that, Jaylen Brown gets teed up by the other official across the floor near the bench. I had no trouble with Jaylen Brown getting teed up. He deserved it, but the wrong official threw him out. That's the thing I had a problem with. The other official shouldn't have made it his business. The guy in charge had it under control, told him to get out, and Brown would have stayed in the game. For a Tuesday night, it was a different kind of game. Two of the best teams in the NBA. You have Victor Wembanyama playing. I mean, this is a game that a lot of people, I particularly wanted to watch, not just because I'm a Celtic fan and not because of the other stuff, but because it had the potential to be a good game.
Have we ever done this? Have I ever done this exercise with you, Hardy? How many times in your life, when you were outraged, have you stuck both palms in the air? Like if you were auditioning for a role and they were like, act upset, and you went, they would go, all right, get out of here. It's only soccer and the NBA.
I think I do it in traffic when I'm trying to demonstrate to somebody. I'll put my hands up like that. Like, what are you doing?
Both hands off the wheel.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing? Yeah, I can relate to Jaylen Brown on this one.
It's just every NBA guy in soccer too. They go, whoa,
whoa. Now holding the elbows close to the torso with that palms up. No, I've never done that.
That's a little weird.
No, they go, whoa.
No, but the arms have to be out. Not if you tuck the arms in.
Yeah, tuck the arms in. It's strange. Yeah, it's strange. But it was still a good game after that. Derek White took over for the Celtics.
Tatum, White, and Hauser. Derek White down the right side, spins it up and in with the right hand. He was playing that Kata lob. And they took it away from him, so he just drove all the way and took the shot. Celtics score first in the third quarter.
Unfortunately, later on in the game, the Spurs would go on a 12-0 run, and they've got that Victor Wembanyama guy who's pretty good. He's real tall, but he can also shoot the basketball.
Spurs by 3 on the ball. Exactly 6 minutes remaining right now if you're syncing up on NBC. Castle, hands into the corner. Wemby, another 3. Career high, 8th of the night.
Yeah.
Spurs by 6. Timeout, Joe Mazzulla.
That's not fair. I mean, he's a great shot blocker. He's taller than everyone else, can grab whatever rebound he wants. It's not fair to have him hit 8 threes in a game.
Did you sync it up?
Decent ball handler.
No, I did not sync it up.
You didn't sync it up?
No.
So you could hear the local guys? You didn't sync up the game?
No.
Granny's saying if you sync, he's giving you a little, want to sync it up, sync it up.
Yeah.
You want to hear Max and Grandy? You want to miss the national guys? Get a little home cooking?
Nothing?
No.
All right.
I did not.
Baylor Sharman, by the way, has got to rethink the whole T-shirt that he's wearing under his jersey. It's very long. It's like he's wearing like an actual like Hanes
a nightshirt.
Yeah, he's wearing like an oversized Hanes undershirt.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look cool.
Derek White finished with 34 points. He was out there for 40 minutes. Jason Tatum, once again, 27 minutes last night. He scored 24, but with Jaylen Brown out, not much they can do. Credit to Ron Harper Jr. Ended up scoring 22 last night. He played 33 minutes in the loss. 125-116. Spurs get the win in San Antonio.
They had no business, especially after Brown got ejected, being in the game. I mean, Jason Tatum, obviously on a minutes restriction, so that leaves Derek White out there alone for long periods of time with a bunch of role players, and they still hung right in there. They were down 1 in the fourth quarter when San Antonio ran off those 12 in a row.
Yeah.
They were right there with Ron Harper scoring, with Derek White scoring, and Jason Tatum in and out of there. I mean, it's funny too because Victor Wembanyama is the best defensive player in the league, and for a while there in the first half, the Celtics took turns isolating him on the perimeter, driving by him and scoring. I mean, they are playing far beyond what they should be playing.
They played fast last night, which was fun. It was a fun game to watch just because the tempo was up, and yeah, there were a lot of threes being traded back and forth, but there was enough basketball being played down below inside of the arc to make it enjoyable. And as you said, John, they kept it close. They had no business really keeping it that close, I don't think, against that team in San Antonio without Jaylen Brown, but they still lost.
If Shireman is on Wemby, I just don't understand why they were keeping Wemby outside of the I know there's a reason, but I just
math.
It would just seem that you would just go, oh, this guy's a foot taller than the guy guarding him. I'm gonna just have him get on the low block and just shoot over his head.
It wasn't even that. I mean, Derek White guarded him in the second half. Sam Hauser guarded him in the second half. Well, they tried Garza, and Garza picked up 5 fouls early in the fourth quarter. They had to sit him down. And Amias Queta, I think the reason they didn't put him in there is because on the other end, Queta's no threat to shoot from the outside, so Wembanyama just parked himself down low, made it a lot harder to drive to the basket.
Well, Shireman's 6'6", Wemby's, 7'2"?
7'4".
7'4". So, okay, so there you go. He's about a foot taller.
Yep.
And you said it's not only that, it was Derek White, and Derek White's 6'4".
Yes.
Or 7'5", as I heard multiple times on the broadcast last night.
Yeah,
like you don't need to make someone 7'4" taller.
Right.
If somebody is 6'11" and you want to call him 7 feet, fine. He's 7'4". You cannot lie.
But it's just not even the posting up, down, low against the smaller guy. A guy like that to step out and knock down threes is insane. It's not it's not a fair fight.
Because even if White and Shireman were double teaming him,
it doesn't matter.
Well, no, but I would still move him inside and just have him shoot over him.
Yeah.
Just lob the ball and have him turn around and hold it over his head.
Late in the game, the Celtics went zone when they were down by 6 or 8 in the fourth quarter. They went zone, and so that's when San Antonio put Victor Wembanyama down low, and he scored a couple of easy baskets.
Yeah. And as you can imagine, Joe Mazzulla not thrilled with the Jaylen Brown ejection.
The play that Jaylen was frustrated with. He also thought he was pushed out of bounds.
Just give a ton of credit to my high school principal. He had the balls to throw a student out. He didn't leave it to the hall monitor.
What kind of frustrated you about just that entire sequence?
He was a hell of a principal.
Yeah. He's upset that second official threw his player out of the game who had nothing to do with it.
He'd been cooking that up in his brain ever since ever since he got cooked. That was a whole writing process in his head.
He had about a half to think of it too.
Yeah, it wasn't very clever.
He tried it out on a couple of assistants. Hey, this is what I'm thinking.
Well, he workshopped it a couple games ago when the same thing happened. That's what you came up with. Oof. He had 2 hours to come up with something.
Took it out of town. Open mic. Just got it for like 10 minutes one night with the legal pad.
East Coast guy can't use it can't start new material in Texas. No, you got to have your material refined before you get to Texas.
You would think. You want to do the Bruins now? You want to save them?
No, we got to save them because we have to break. But I did see the Bruins.
I saw most of the Bruins.
After my daughter's practice, I did. I saw the third period and the overtime. I watched the Bruins.
I watched both. I toggle back and forth.
I saw some of the Celtics game, but I went to bed before it was over. But I do find myself watching the Bruins. I am a Bruins fan after all. I am the anti-John. John and I are polar opposites. But for that, the show, Hardy watches everything. John's very focused on the Celtics. I'm very focused on the Bruins. It all works out beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dance. It's a symphony. Do you understand? It's a symphony of interests going on here. All right. We'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics were beaten in San Antonio last night, 125-116. Victor Wembanyama, 39 points for the home team. Derek White, 34 for the Green. Jaylen Brown ejected in the first half. Celtics visit Oklahoma City tomorrow night. Miami beat the Washington Wizards last night, 150-129. Bam Adebayo, 83 points in that game. That's the second highest ever for one game by an NBA player. Bruins got a Charlie McAvoy goal in overtime. They beat the LA Kings 2-1 at TD Garden. Bruins have won 13 straight at home. They host San Jose tomorrow night. Patriots have signed Green Bay free agent wide receiver Romeo Doubs to a reported 4-year contract. Red Sox lost to Detroit and Fort Myers yesterday 7-2. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Bill Burr live at Centerville Bank Stadium. Get ready, New England. Bill Burr is coming to Centerville Bank Stadium Friday, June 12th. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Schultz.
A guy in tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Dutcher and Hardy continues on the
Deep doo-doo. The Bruins were playing last night against the L.A. Kings. Largely scoreless affair until we get to the third period.
Far side, Hampus over to Lori, stepping in for a shot, scores! Bruins grab the 1-0 lead, Lori!
At the 8:22 mark
Take it easy.
of the third period,
Lori.
Hampus Lindholm and Victor Arvidsson on the assists, and it's a 1-0 game. Just hold on, boys. Just hold on.
Moore takes a loose puck out of the zone here for the Kings. Chips it around Hampus Lindholm. Moore gets to it along the far side. Ashmarks drops it off to Downey. A shot, scores! Quentin Byfield was coming to the front of the net. May have redirected that one in. It's tied at 1.
Off a skate, I believe.
Yes, Bruins skate.
Yes.
Hampus Lindholm, I believe it was.
Yes. And so he was allowed entry into the zone on a lackluster play by Lindholm.
Bruins gave up 15 shots last night, total, for the game, and they could not hang on to the lead.
It's one goal.
I know. Hey, this is a team that relies on defense and goaltending.
Yeah,
it would have been nice.
But it was
they rely a lot on goaltending. I don't know how much they rely on defense.
All right, goaltending. Then you're right. We talked to Fluto about this yesterday. Yes,
but I believe it was Elias who had a somewhat suspect effort along the boards there to allow entry into the zone, and then yes, off of Hampus Lindholm skate. So it's 1-1. It would remain that way until the end of regulation. And then it goes to overtime. What do you got for us, Chuck?
Here's Panarin moving to the left circle. McAvoy blocked his shot. Panarin, second effort. That one blocked in front by Kastelik, who pivots in behind the net, then sends a long pass ahead. Pastrnak to McAvoy. Woo! He scores! Charlie McAvoy backhands home the game winner. Bruins take it 2-1.
McAvoy was
pretty cool. That was basically a rink-long pass. Pastrnak stays on side. McAvoy's just charging the net. It's regular season game, so the 3-on-3 is fun. So the Kings they get possession. They're able to set up and everything, and then they lose the puck, and it just pass like rink-long pass. Pastrnak stays on side. McAvoy's just charging. It was pretty, as these things go, it was pretty cool. And then McAvoy makes a nifty move.
It was a very nifty move there at the end, but after the game, you know what? Poor Charlie, his mouth still hurts.
I wish the hits would stop coming, honestly. And just, it's tiring. My mouth,
maybe if you didn't party so much after you won the gold medal.
Feel worse, so, but I'll get some work. We got a really good dentist here who's great.
All right, so he lost the bubble. He got rid of it during the Olympics. And since he's been back, that's the second time he's been hit in the mouth with a puck last night.
Yeah, it can't be pleasant. Hey, I got a question, an honest question. So it was Kopitar's last game in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, so after the game, he stayed on the ice and they all shook hands with him.
Yeah.
Like he was the only guy that stood on the ice. Kings lost the game and he stayed on the ice.
Yeah.
How's that work? How do they know that that's happening?
Who?
And how did he know to stay on the ice? How did the Bruins all know that they were going to get off and shake his hand?
I don't. Maybe it's just kind of assumed when a guy announces that it's his last season, and that's the last time he's going to be in the building. It's just kind of like custom.
Yeah. You probably, but it seems like, how would you know that it was Kopitar? Like, who would think? Someone has to tell them, hey, this is Kopitar's last game here. Like, do you think every player on that team is aware of what's going on with the Kings? He's been in the league a really long time.
Yeah, he's been in the league for 20 years.
Yeah, but it's not like Gretzky or like Ovechkin's last game.
Right.
It's just, Kopitar's a Hall of Famer, but he's not, he's not some icon of the league. I'm not complaining that it happened at all. I'm legitimately curious like how they all got it together to figure out that they were going to do that.
Yeah, I guess maybe they get the heads up before the game. That's the only way, because I was the same way. When I saw it happening, I thought it was a former Bruin who was out there saying
So
hello,
did I.
saying
So
hello
did
to
I.
his former teammates.
Yeah, I mean, who knew? I didn't know Kopitar was retiring. I didn't even know Kopitar was on the When was the last time you saw the Kings?
Yeah, he spent his entire career with the Kings, and it's just been a guy, in my mind, that's just kind of been there.
Right.
I mean, he's won a couple of Stanley Cups, but that's because he was with L.A. for 2 decades.
And he's not particularly good anymore. So it just, it was interesting. I mean, I guess I can assume, like, the coaches at the end of the game had been given a heads up, and they were like, hey, it's Kopitar's last game here. Like, you know, they're on the ice anyway celebrating. And then maybe they tell Kopitar, hey, can you stay out? I don't know. It seems
it's
like
not a
lot.
farewell tour. He announced it, but it's not like I would imagine it's not every place he's gone.
When I was in Detroit, Julius Erving's last game, I was at Julius Erving's last game at the I guess it was the Palace or the Silverdome. I can't, probably the Silverdome. And, you know, there was a big presentation before the game because Julius Erving is an icon, and they did it before the game. I don't think there was I wasn't there at this game last night, but I assume there wasn't an in-stadium announcement that it was Kopitar's last. I don't know. Forget it. It's not that interesting. I just thought it was. I was just curious, and if you guys had any insights onto how something like that happens.
We can ask Ryan about it later.
I'll definitely remember 2 or 3 hours.
I'll remember. Okay, if you can't be bothered,
you'll Skid Row it.
Okay, you want something exciting?
I'll remember you. Go ahead. Yeah, I do want something exciting.
Hofstra has ended a 25-year NCAA tournament drought with a big win last night.
Yeah, Crabette was there. You know Crabette was there. And you know who was there? Isaac.
Game. Collins inbounds. That's it. It's over.
That's Isaac.
Pride. RCAA champions.
Hi.
My mentor, my mentee, I should say, Isaac, was just kicking back with a cigar.
Say my name.
He was just sitting back, Arbach style.
No, it's Bert Breer style. That was good.
No,
Hey
he's
there.
cooler than Breer. He can
Okay.
talk with a cigar.
Okay.
He knows to hold it out of his mouth while he talks.
Hey there. It's Isaac.
I felt good.
Isaac's grandmother's house, located right by Hofstra, was where Isaac spends his time, where he lives. I mean, let's just say they were up late.
My name is Isaac Brendel. Say my name. Isaac.
Eric, go ahead.
Hey, guys. Marco Sturm was the assistant coach on the LA Kings last year. So
Right. I knew that because he gave him a big hug.
Yeah. So they were just.
Go ahead.
They were happy. I was just saying, they were happy. They knew about it. So he probably knew, and then he just gave the team a heads up.
Oh.
Okay, so do you think if Sturm wasn't the ex-coach of the Kings that they would have done that?
Maybe like somebody on the roster is a friend with him as well and would have done it that way, but it makes the most sense that Sturm already knew about it and told them ahead of time.
Okay.
Fred, a 20-year vet in the league, probably in the original 6 buildings. He's probably getting this kind of treatment,
Yeah,
Maybe not everywhere.
Class X.
Yeah.
Yes, because Sturm hugged them, and then they were like, Sturm was an assistant coach with the Kings. And so I just thought it was very well choreographed. And by the way, Bam Adebayo scored the second most. Is that the second most points?
Second most, yep.
Isn't it third?
Second most.
Yeah, I think it's second most.
Does Will Chamberlain's 100 not count?
Chamberlain
that's
had
number one.
Chamberlain had 100. Kobe was second with 81.
Oh, okay.
So 83.
Yeah, 100 is more than 86. So we were saying it was the second most.
I had the Kobe one wrong. I thought Kobe had more.
Well, he didn't.
Well, he didn't. So Bam
That's
Adebayo
why I'm
had.
here and you're in there.
That's right. That's why.
80 points for Bam.
Yeah. So he had.
On his.
So when I was watching the Celtics game, they did announce how much Adebayo had at the half. Adebayo, who I got a lot of pushback when I said he's going to make the Hall of Fame because everyone makes the Hall of Fame. Bam Adebayo is making the Hall of Fame. Believe me, Chris Webber is in the Hall of Fame. He's making the Hall of Fame.
It's weird, though. Bam's previous career high was 41. And he scored 83 last night.
How many free throws did he attempt last night?
I know. It was ridiculous. It was like was he 27 for 36 or something?
No. That's silly.
Higher.
36 of 43.
Okay, yeah, 36 of 43.
43 shots from the field, 43 shots from the line last night.
Well, I mean, at least he admitted they were feeding him.
They were fouling late to get him extra possessions. All they wanted to do was make sure he had more than Kobe last night.
It doesn't sound like it would have been a super fun game to watch if you weren't overly invested in how much he was scoring if he was at the line that many times.
It was kind of like when Devin Booker scored 70 against the Celtics a while ago, and it was the same thing. Phoenix in that game had no chance of winning, but the Suns kept them on the floor when they didn't need to and fed him for more points.
Well, at least Miami won that game. All right.
Did you see Joe Murray's Instagram post after the game went final?
Ooh.
He was holding up a sign.
83 fraud.
Oh,
just like the Wilt Chamberlain, sad little 100 with his finger in the air, and
he's a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
dumb fraud.
Was it a fraudulent 83?
Yeah. I had a futures bet that he would score 80. Yeah. I had a prop bet 80 plus. Yeah. I had taken all my appliance money and let it ride. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment. We have listener submissions for our big contest.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports. Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics were beaten in San Antonio last night because of this guy.
Straight away against Luka Garza. Spurs by 3, 8:08 to go. Wemby steps to his right. He's going to launch again. 3 is in the air. Got it. 7th 3 of the night for Victor Wembanyama, and the Spurs double their lead, 103-97.
That is Sean Grandy over on 105.7 WROR. Victor Wembanyama, 8 threes in all. He scored 39 points. San Antonio beat the Green 125-116 in Texas. Celtics had to play the second half without Jaylen Brown. He picked up a pair of technical fouls and was ejected in the second quarter. Celtics have split the first 2 games of their road trip. They wrap things up in Oklahoma City tomorrow night. Miami beat the Washington Wizards last night, 150-129. In that game, the Heat's Bam Adebayo scored 83 points. Bruins beat the LA Kings 2-1 in overtime at TD Garden. Charlie McAvoy, the game winner. Bruins have won 13 straight at home. They host San Jose tomorrow night. Patriots assigned free agent wideout Romeo Doubs to a reported 4-year, $68 million contract. Baltimore Ravens pulled out of their Max Crosby trade with the Raiders over a failed physical. Red Sox lost to Detroit and Fort Myers yesterday 7-2. And a big upset loss for the U.S. They were beaten by Italy at the World Baseball Classic 8-6. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99. Stop in this St. Patrick's Day for lucky specials like green beer and corned beef and cabbage dinner. March 16th and 17th only. You gotta love the 9s. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Follow the latest Patriots free agency moves this week. Listen on air and follow us online at 985thesportshub.com/offseason.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Adam's in there, nodding away. Okay, we are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. And you can follow us on Instagram at Toucher and Hardy. You can follow us, I guess, Twitter as well, but I would suggest getting off Twitter for your own sanity. Then you can follow Hardy at Hardy985 on both, and I am on Instagram at Fred Toucher. And we have this new thing called the Thuppets. Hardy had puppets created of the show. Nick, John, well, he didn't have a puppet created of John. John is just a standard puppet. Because of his looks, were very easy to replicate in puppet form.
John doesn't like that.
A big eagle, big bird.
Oh, now you ruined it. Spoil the surprise.
Well, listen,
people might not have seen it yet.
It's pinned on the Ad Toucher and Hardy site. I'm a huge fan of them. I sent them to a bunch of people. I texted it to a bunch of people when it came out. Hardy does a great job. We'll have a new one on Monday. And in honor of this, I'm such a big fan of this. I think it's brilliant. I really think it's brilliant. We want to have a theme song for the individual puppets. Now, the idea is we'll pick one of these. The person that made it, the one that we picked, the song that we ultimately pick, will get a pair of tickets to the opening round of the Celtics playoffs, a home game. And most likely we'll make a video. Hardy will make a video featuring your song. We'll see. But nonetheless, if you want to get these in, people struggling with this because they aren't getting the email address right, adam12@bbgi.com. Yesterday I learned the I stands for Incorporated. Beasley Broadcasting Group Incorporated. Mm-hmm. Why? BBGI? I don't know. But that's what it is. Adam12@bbgi.com to make it super, super simple. They got to be a minute or less. And I want them focused on one person, if you could. This was the one that people seem to like from yesterday. It's about John. I mean, it insults me too.
Yeah, a little Fred sprinkled in.
Yeah, it's more of a fact about me than an insult. But here we go.
John's been married once before. Yeah, that one ended in divorce. Fred just laughs across the mic, yet mine did too. Welcome to life. John dreamed he'd call the Celtics game the Parquet Floor in Band of Fame, but they picked Drew Carter instead. Fred got divorced, John did too, but Drew calls the Celtics not John.
Fred got divorced, John did too, and Drew Carter calls the Celtics not John.
Yes.
Yes.
Tim sent the lyrics along to us during the email segment.
Eighth time I've heard it. I think that's the first time I understood
I
it.
love the guy's voice.
Yeah.
I love the idea that suicide is painless, and I love that it makes fun of John. But it was hard to understand some of it. But maybe that's a good thing because we've now played it maybe 4 times trying to figure out what he was saying.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to do mine or yours first? Because I know what I'm playing last.
Let's go with mine first.
Okay. So Hardy is going to be the one we get the least amount of things about. He's the hardest one to make fun of.
Well, I can't remember it. I was going through all the submissions last night. There's one that is absolutely brutal. That mostly about me, but about the show in general.
Okay.
But don't worry, they're coming.
Okay, because
your little trick worked. I know what you were doing yesterday, Fred. You said it's really hard to make fun of Hardy, and collectively the audience said, "Oh yeah,
oh, that sounds like a challenge."
All right, well let's think of it rationally. Nick's an idiot who woke up in his own feces. John's John, and my own personal failings are very public. I don't think it's a big stretch. I'm actually trying. Yes, if you think I'm trying to get people to write songs about you, you've hit the nail on the head, Hardy. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I would like it if everyone was represented in this contest because it's harder. It's harder to make fun of you. There's not as much out there about you. All right, so and you probably haven't done as much. So here we go. This is about Hardy.
It's just longer ago.
Yeah, it was just a long time. It was before you were here.
Yeah.
So you've been on your game since you've been here. All right. So here is one about Hardy.
Good morning, radio. My name is Hardy, and I really don't do much on the show. My interests and hobbies are boring and lame, but now here's another story all about my golf game. I'm a white Midwestern guy. Is there meaning to my life? I think I wanna die.
It's good.
It's pretty good.
Solid.
It's obviously to the American Dad theme.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
I'm not white-haired though.
Mm. Well, you know,
I take
poetic
exception
license
to that.
I like that it was short. That's very good. All right, this one is about me,
and this is in perfect timing for March 11th.
Okay, here we go.
Chill. Fred needs his ego stroked because he's an only child who was coddled too much. He's a little tall but has a tiny tool, so his wife split while he drank the booze. Old hipster reads music bios all day, craps on Wallop to make his pain go away. He looks down on your record collection, but he got rid of Rich, so congratulations.
He tells a lot of stories that are dumb about his glory days in a southern town, but the industry is dying, boo. So he's stuck in being down.
Mm-hmm. It's factual. Mm-hmm. No doubt factual.
Congratulations.
But he did use record collection, which is in the original song.
Mm-hmm.
But I see. I kind of like that because you don't borrow too much, but you just sprinkle, an actual reference to the song here and there.
And when you get S.A. Martinez, you don't want to. Yeah, I understand the inclinations there to keep the original.
Right,
lyrics.
you're doing a parody of the Mona Lisa. You don't screw up the eyebrows. You keep those the same.
Right. If you're Duchamp, you put a mustache on it, and that is your art.
That's right.
All right. So that is about me. I did like the line of my ex-wife and my drinking. Those are all very true. All right, but it's time to get down to business.
Finally, we have another submission about John. And yesterday, I thought of it as the early leader in the clubhouse, the match theme John song. This is another fantastic song which I have mixed feelings about them using this song to make fun of Wallach, but so be it. Here it is.
A little about me, I'm Walter with Gap T. I like them thick and big like Murray with a wig. Been married 3 times.
Why does everyone think you've been married 3 times?
I have no idea.
Funnier than 2.
Don't have gap teeth either.
Oh.
Don't have it. It's gone.
God wants you to have
Not
that.
there.
God wants you to have
I like how Wallach likes some thick and big like Murray with a wig.
That's a line I haven't crossed. Come on now.
You've never made love to an overweight woman.
I have, but Jill Murray's 370. I have not. I've told you many times. There's a Lizzo line I will not cross.
Joe Murray looks good on that TV show, though. By the way,
Yeah.
Yes,
he does.
that's very
I
true.
mean, he looks good in person. He's just big. He's a big dude.
No, he's got like a big head and everything. He's like a naturally big guy. I wouldn't say Murray's like you see him and you're like, wow, he's tremendously fat.
He's proportioned, but he's a big guy.
He's a big guy.
He's like a lineman.
Yeah.
He's like a natural lineman.
I like them thick and big like Murray with a wig. Been married 3 times, only 1 good year. I need the trophy wife who weighs more than a deer. I'm still looking for the one, only one a big butt. A trash bag full of softballs, that's my type.
Wait, what?
A trash bag full of softballs.
That's very good.
Is that in reference to the butt?
Yeah, how you get the yoga pants, and sometimes you'll see one in a supermarket. Say it's like, oh, there's a lot of bulges and things happening where they should.
A lot of things going on.
Yeah, that's a trash bag.
Wrapped in spandex. You see that sometimes walking around.
That was a subliminal reference to Mega Buck Cheeks when Dad Boner met her at the grocery store.
Yeah. When
so
he had
much butt cheeks.
cheek passions with Mega Butt Cheeks, she called it hot dog and so much buns.
A trash bag full of softballs, that's my type. Curved in the wrong places, only feels so right. If she don't eat more than me, I'll kick her to the curb and find the next fatty. I'm still looking for the one, only one a big butt.
All right.
Some factual, some not.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's poetic license.
Come on now.
I mean, but nonetheless, 3 very good songs. And I like them all. I like the way that people are doing them. I like that they are not overly produced. I really do. That makes them way funnier to me.
So there have been a couple of submissions that are just straight up a cappella renderings, like these people are auditioning for the worst American Idol show season ever. A little effort sometimes is necessary, but there's one that I like so much I might actually add something to it, but we'll listen to it dry first as it was submitted.
Well, they can't win if you add something to it. But the thing is that I would say all of these people that just put in effort, because like especially the American Dad one, that's very difficult. Like that's going fast, and I'm just saying it's not like someone with Pro Tools like making a whole like thing. But I have to say, I still am a little. I'm still a little partial to this one.
John's been married once before. Yeah, that one ended in divorce. Fred just laughs across the mic. Yet mine did too. Welcome to life. John dreamed he'd call the Celtics game the Pocket Floor in Band of Fame, but they picked Drew Carter instead. Fred got divorced. John did, don't you? But Drew calls it Celtics, not John. John.
It's the guy's voice. It's quite charming.
John Daniel, whatever.
All right. Well, very good. Thank you for those submissions. They've all been very good, the ones that we've played. We appreciate that. So, again, it's a 60-second or shorter song.
Feel free to include a lyric sheet, too.
Yes, some have, and we like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you can get those to adam12@bbgi.com. And that would be Nick, John, Hardy, or I, because that's who puppets we have the puppets of. And again, there will be a new video on Monday, so we look forward to that. And you could get yourself those playoff tickets for the Celtics. Very good. We appreciate this very much from the audience. Mike Reese is going to be joining us in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sport.
it's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on
Toucher and Hardy, listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win tickets to see Bill Burr. Our friend Mike Reese is never off. He's got to, he's working all the time. Free agency has started. He's obviously with ESPN. Mike Reese, hello.
Miss you guys. Fred, Hardy. Is John in there? What do we got?
Yeah. Oh, John's here. John's here.
Hey.
How we doing, guys? I miss you.
I know we miss you as well. How about this whole Max Crosby situation? Everyone's very upset at Baltimore.
Yeah. That was one of those when the tweet came out, my first thought was, were the Raiders hacked? You know?
When I first saw it, I was leaving something last night, and it said Crosby traded, and for some reason I thought it was Sidney Crosby. I was like, how when a deal goes through, how are they reneging on it? Yeah, so I know that we're going to talk about the Patriots, and that's your specialty, but it seems like people are more upset at Baltimore than they are at Vegas.
Yep, and I think part of it is you got to negotiate in good faith, and when you make a trade like that, you know, you sort of know the situation, and I think the general feeling is maybe that the Ravens got cold feet, and it's not a great way to do business.
What's the deal with Brady not wanting to deal with the Patriots? Do you think that's legit?
Do I think it's legit? Yeah, there's probably a part of him that feels that way.
Is it because they chose Belichick over him? He's pissed off at the organization?
I don't know if pissed off would be my...
Well, if you won't deal with him, I mean, he's probably pissed off.
Honestly, and I don't know if it's that he really wouldn't deal with them, guys. Maybe if two things were equal, he'd prefer to send them somewhere else. But, I mean, he's got to put the Raiders' best interest first. And if the Patriots were to come out with the best offer, it's hard for me to believe he wouldn't take that it would be that, for lack of a better word, petty.
But this isn't an outlier. I mean, there were stories about him texting, Seattle personnel and wishing them luck in the Super Bowl, and it just seems like he's going out of his way to distance himself from the organization after getting a statue.
Yeah. So, John, I guess I don't know exactly what Tom is thinking. If you're asking me what would be your thought, what would be your educated guess, the way he is wired is that if you slight me, it's like I'm going to use that as a chip. I think that's what made him great, right? 199th pick. And so I think Fred might have mentioned it, or Hardy might have mentioned it. The idea that the Patriots could have kept him, didn't. Maybe there's still that feeling inside him that you guys didn't want me. And maybe that's where that comes from.
So he's a Buddhist, is what you're saying.
Oh, my goodness.
Because that's the way the Buddha said. He said, always remember those who slighted you, and then let it torture you for the rest of your life.
They treated him pretty well since then. So.
No amount of success, fame, and riches can ever take away that one slight, and then you got to carry that with you like a burden for the rest of your life.
It's funny too, and I know what Mike's saying, but it's like, and that's what made him great. And you're like, okay, well, that's like a horrible way to live. It's like the way you got to teach yourself and almost force yourself not to live.
Yeah,
is because not good advice for children. To keep a lifelong chip on your shoulder. I am a little surprised. Look, I don't care that he called anyone in Seattle. I don't care if he likes the Patriots or not. I am a little mystified because that he doesn't have any warm feelings to this area, since everyone, I mean, could not have been more praising of him. I mean, he was like a god here. I don't really understand why he wouldn't appreciate that, but whatever.
And Fred, I do think that's like the two things can be true. I do think he appreciates that deeply and greatly, but I think he can still feel that other way at the same time.
Sure. Okay. Now, what do I know about him? I know he's kind of like a nerd, and then everything got very big for him, and now he's kind of trying to figure that out. All right, let's go player by player in free agency. All right? Can we do that, Mikey?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, Reggie Gilliam, we got the breakdown on him. He ain't an ISO block guy. He's got to put in.
Not going to crack you in ISO.
He ain't going to crack you in ISO.
But Mike, is it true that they're going to use him in motion?
You don't know what we're talking about, but that was someone analyzed the signing, and they're like, he can't block. What did he say in ISO?
He's never going to crack you in ISO.
He ain't going to crack you in ISO, but he's someone you use in motion.
So do you want me to literally go through the signings?
I do. But
Okay.
So why did they sign Reggie Gilliam?
Okay, so let me do this. So here's what I think. Oh, let me answer. Why'd they sign Reggie Gilliam? The Super Bowl. Like, think about the Super Bowl and what you saw offensively. To me, that signing is a response to that. Want to be able to run the ball, be a more powerful running team, which helps your quarterback. And I think that's the long answer short. And he'll help, and this is not why you signed him, he'll also help on special teams.
Yeah, I guess he's an elite special teams player. Is it Draymond Jones?
Draymond Jones.
Draymond Jones, the edge rusher that they got. How does he compare to Chason? Like, how does that help fill this up?
So he is bigger and sturdier on the edge than Chason, so he's going to make you a little more physical against the run. You probably give up a little bit of speed and explosiveness with him in there instead of Chason. And he's a little more versatile, Fred, in terms of where he can line up. Chason probably always going to be on the edge, whereas Jones, you can move him around a little bit. So I think they got a little more powerful and sturdy on the edge and maybe gave up a little speed and explosiveness there.
Okay, so they get rid of Garrett Bradbury, and that's to move Jared Wilson to center, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now you have an opening at left guard. Elijah Vera Tucker is very good when he's healthy. He has a lot of injury problems. He did not want to be a Jet. So the Jets apparently wanted to keep him, which is good news for the Patriots. The Jets wanted to keep him, and he did not want to be on the Jets. I can't imagine why, but he did not want to be on the Jets anymore. Your feelings on Elijah Vera Tucker?
This one's pretty straightforward. Roll of the dice. If he's healthy, great signing. If he's not, we're going to come back and say, well, what'd you expect, right? And these are always hard to predict. Guy played every snap as a rookie. 2 seasons ago, he played almost every snap. Now, I think it was 97%, but you got 2 triceps and an Achilles, which is not insignificant. And so I think if you're the Patriots, that's a major upgrade if he's in there, but you have to protect yourself insurance-wise that he won't be in there. And I think it's a worthy roll of the dice.
Yeah. Does it concern you at all that the left tackle and left guard are coming off of pretty big injuries?
Sure, Fred, but I think they're better. I think they're better up front right now.
Oh, sure.
With that projection.
Oh, yeah. If he's healthy, certainly a lot
but it's
better.
A big if. It's a big if, right? And we got to acknowledge that's a big if, and they have to still draft at that position. And I think they have Ben Brown there as sort of an insurance policy if you needed to plug in this.
You also
wait real quick. Will they draft? Do you think they draft a lineman high?
I do.
Oh, and not play him? Like not start him?
So I think they still need a swing tackle. So like I would say, Fred, like think back to Nate Solder when they drafted him. I want to say 17th overall or in that range. I think he maybe started as the third tackle and eventually becomes a starter. I think something like that would make a lot of sense to me.
Okay, and then
does that make sense?
Yes,
does
it
that
does.
make sense?
Yeah, I find it curious, though, given where they are roster-wise. I know what you're saying, and I'm not saying it's not true. It's just that where they are roster-wise, if I'm keeping first and second-round picks, certainly first-round picks, I want them playing. You have enough holes where you want them playing, but I understand also you want to draft, you want to draft the best available player at that point in the draft. All right, Romeo Doubs, they get yesterday, a hole at receiver. Who do you think would you have rather had last year, Romeo Doubs or, oh my God.
Diggs?
Diggs, yes, thanks.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs.
Well, this really interesting one to me, Fred. And so what I would say on Doubs, he reminds me a little bit of Jacoby Myers. So you look at him and you're like, he's not the fastest, he's not the biggest, but he just sort of finds a way to get open, and he's a versatile receiver. So I think in this, I'm going to answer your question, but I just want to sort of set it up this way. So I think they get younger at receiver with Dobbs. I think they get cheaper a little bit. And I think in their view, I think they get a little more less scheme reliant to get open. And so I think that's the viewpoint from them. I think where I would sort of say, well, what do they lose with Diggs? To me, like that culture piece is where I start. Like Diggs was a big part of their culture. And we talked Bradbury too. I mean, he was as well. And even Jelani Tavai, these were like big culture guys. They were a big part of the soul of the team last year. And I don't just dismiss that they're not there anymore. And so I think, to me, like I really valued what Diggs brought to the team. And I don't think it's insignificant. You know, I don't think you just say, oh, Dobbs replaces Diggs. Like that's a fair question to ask. And I would have preferred, for me, if you're asking me last season, who I would have rather had Diggs. For me, without question, projecting it going forward, like Dobbs is younger, like I said, and so they're betting on an ascending player versus a player in Diggs who I think it's fair to say is not ascending anymore, but is still really, really good. And so that's a tough one.
Yeah, and Romeo Dobbs, you talk about like culture. It's not the world's biggest deal, but he had a weird thing where, did you know about this? Where he didn't. I'm talking to the room, but yeah, he didn't show up to practice a couple of times, and then he never really explained. Like he said, it was football and personal life matters, but he had not like explained it. Am I telling that tale correctly?
You are, Fred, and that was in 2024, so that's 2 years ago. And look, we've seen players can grow and make mistakes, and we've seen it here with Kayshon Boutte as an example. So I don't necessarily hold that against him, but I think it ties to what I'm saying, Fred. Like culture, I really believed in I thought that culture that they created last year was really, really special and a big part of how they got to where they ended up getting. And to me, how they sort of reestablished the culture is a big part of this, because I think particularly with Diggs, like you're losing a lot with him not being there.
So, okay, essentially replacing Dobbs for Diggs. Have they done enough? No. So what more do you think they will do with the receiver position?
With the receivers, so Hardy, I think, we'll wait on the A.J. Brown thing. That's going to linger probably for a little while. So that's still out there. A lot of that, to me, is going to depend on the Eagles. Like if the Eagles hold the line on what the price is, like I wouldn't expect that to happen. But I think some are projecting that the Eagles will ultimately lower the price when the cost of trading them for them financially comes down, which would be after June 1st. So I think that's part of the discussion. I think, and no one's going to want to hear this, I think part of it is look to the development of the young guys. So like Kayshon Boutte after year one, I'm not sure how many people thought he would become what he's become in year 2 and 3. Can Kyle Williams do that? Can Efton Chisholm do that? I think that's going to be part of the conversation there. And then tight end, Hardy, like I think that's an extension of what our conversation is. If you add to the tight end room, can by extension that make the receivers better?
I was wondering real quick about Jalen Hawkins, who was a starter that everybody loved as a free agent. How important is it for the Patriots to bring him back?
So I think it's important, John, and I think they're still working at that. I don't know where that stands right now, but I know, as we've heard Hawkins publicly say, he'd love to come back. Not sure why that isn't done yet, but maybe something that unfolds today.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow, the third day.
One way or the other. One way or the other. One way or the other.
All right. Well, listen, Mike Reese, follow him on ESPN and find out everything that's going on and get that analysis. Thank you, Mike. It's good talking to you again.
Always great, guys. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of the show.
Thanks,
All
Mike.
right, thank you, Mike. There you go, Mike Reese. Bill Burr. Caller number 10 of the contest line, 617-931-0985, will score a pair of tickets to see Bill Burr for the first ever comedy event at Centerville Bank Stadium. That's home, of course, home of Rhode Island FC. You know, you've always been going there for Rhode Island FC, and now you'll be seeing comedy there.
What's Rhode Island FC? What league?
I don't know.
It's not a league. It's a fun camp. It's home of the Rhode Island Fun Camp. They teach juggling. Don't miss Bill Burr live June 12th at the Centerville Bank
USL.
Stadium.
Yeah.
The what?
The USL.
Okay. Don't miss Bill Burr live June 12th at the Centerville Bank Stadium. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Victor Wembanyama made 8 3-point shots last night. He scored 39 points in all. San Antonio beat the Celtics 125-116. Jaylen Brown ejected in the first half of this game. Celtics wrap up their road trip against Oklahoma City tomorrow night. Bam Adebayo, 83 points last night. Miami beat the Washington Wizards 150-129. The 83 points, the second most in one game by an NBA player. Bruins got an overtime goal from Charlie McAvoy. They beat the LA Kings at TD Garden 2-1. They host San Jose tomorrow night. Patriots assigned Green Bay free agent wideout Romeo Doubs to a reported 4-year, $68 million contract. And the Baltimore Ravens last night pulled out of their Max Crosby trade with the Raiders over what they say is a failed physical. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Barmakian Jewelers. Get to Barmakian Jewelers' wedding band event going on now. The largest selection of wedding bands on sale now at the absolute best prices. Barmakian Jewelers, Boston, Framingham, Nashua, and Barmakian.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
individuals who seek acceptance, respite, and care.
98.5, a sport.
A little, I've always questioned people that like that band Be Real.
His wife split while he drank the booze.
It's true. It was more of a mutual decision at that point.
He's an only child who was coddled too much.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about the coddled.
Yeah, I don't know about being coddled. I would.
Old hipster reads music bios all day.
That's just a fact.
Well, you listen to him.
No, I read them too. But I've been reading
Craps on
fiction.
Wallach to make his pain go away.
That's true.
That's very true.
Well, I mean, I do lash out to cover my own insecurities. This was not my idea, so don't yell at me for this being a Jet-centric segment. This was not my idea. I listened to the New York Sports Talk Radio yesterday because everyone was celebrating that Geno Smith had been traded for by the Jets. You recall Geno Smith was drafted by the Jets, and he had his jaw broken in a locker room. And if you want to see something funny, look at the other quarterbacks taken in that draft, and Geno Smith is far and away the best quarterback taken in that draft. That's how bad that draft was. And you can do that exercise on your own time. And just real quick, people are like, the Jets, why do they sign these old guys to like 1-2 year deals? I don't know, to get some sort of control. I mean, they got Minkah Fitzpatrick and DeMario Davis. Why? Oh, I don't know.
To get a tourniquet on this thing.
Yeah, because DeMario Davis and Fitzpatrick are considered these like pros locker room guys. They need someone in there to do something. Is it that much of a mystery to you? Are they going to be good next year? Of course not. But don't act like you don't know why they sign them. Because they need two guys in there that will actually be professional.
You saw who the backup quarterback to Geno is going to be next year, didn't you?
Oh, Carson Wentz?
Yes.
They're saying they're going to sign
Looks like
him
it's
today.
Carson Wentz.
Well, that's exciting. Hopefully he won't play. But hopefully Geno Smith will have the same kind of year he had last year where he was the second worst quarterback. All right. So Geno Smith is back with the Jets.
Yep.
All right. And so what is this exercise you're putting me through?
Sam Block, who works for ESPN, posted all the quarterbacks that have played for the Jets since Geno Smith was last on the team. Okay. There are 19 of them.
Okay. And you want me to name as many as I can?
Correct. Because you've seen, admittedly, just about every Jet game since that time.
There's no excuse for this because this is not college or my 20s. This is when I have no life and we're watching the Jets. All right.
When you said 19, I thought we were going back to like the year 2000. No, this is since 2013.
Yes,
okay.
Since Geno was last here.
Yes. All right. Let's work backwards. Justin Fields, Brady Cook, Tyrod Taylor.
Yep.
Zach Wilson.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right. Zach Wilson, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yep. That's further back. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to start bouncing around. All right. So Brady Cook. The Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback, and then they drafted Zach Wilson, and then when they didn't play Zach Wilson, who was the backup? I was at the game where he got hurt against the Patriots. Who came into that game? Oh my God!
You want hints?
I'm gonna need hints.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now you're free falling.
I am. I can't. I really am having a mental block.
You're free falling.
Oh, Tom.
No.
Oh, Petty, the kid from Baylor. Petty.
Yeah.
He played at Baylor. They drafted him.
Yeah, you got Petty. That's good enough.
Okay, fine.
Bryce Petty.
Bryce Petty.
Bryce Petty.
Bryce
Okay,
Petty.
I knew where he went to college.
Yes.
All right. Bryce.
You're missing two very obvious ones.
Yeah, you're missing.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
There
right.
you go.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers, and then when Aaron Rodgers didn't play, their quarterback that year, they had Justin Fields, and so Aaron Rodgers played, and then when he got hurt, Zach Wilson played.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the kid. They had the tall kid from Denver.
Yep, that's right.
Brock Osweiler?
No.
Oh, the other one.
Yes. You're on the right track.
Yeah. The tall kid from Denver. I don't remember his name.
Trevor Siemian.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get that.
And there's another quarterback in that third Zach Wilson year that you haven't gotten yet.
The third Zach Wilson year,
he came in and he lit it up big for one game.
Mike White.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to need hints.
There you go. There's one real obvious one. I don't think you've said yet.
Yeah.
It's a
journeyman.
Yes.
It's
journeyman that recently found a lot of success.
A journeyman. Yeah, Sam Darnold.
Right.
Okay. I was at his first game where
Yep.
he threw the pick six, his first pick. All right. How obscure.
Now we're getting into the weeds. Now all the obvious ones and backups are gone. Now we're going to get really kind of weird.
All right, just give me hints because there's 9 more. I'm gonna be scrambling.
Okay. Let's see. The Skywalker.
Luke.
Mm-hmm.
So Luke. Jesus. Luke. He started a game?
2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Luke Falk.
Luke Falk.
Yeah. All right.
And right after him is a guy that you cannot stand. You hate this guy with a passion. Doesn't seem very interested when he plays.
Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Yep.
Yeah, Flacco. Yeah, that's right. Flacco started for them.
right.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. Who else? Famous for disliking dogs?
Oh, Mike Vick.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, who remembers that Michael Vick started for the Jets?
3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. This is really hard.
I know. No, as I said, we're now in the weeds.
I mean, I've watched these games and I don't recall. All right.
Yeah.
Did he get the? That's too much of a hint.
Luke. Okay, so
you'll have to get his first name. I don't think he got the clue. Would be Laura Flynn.
Tommy Boyle.
No,
almost.
Not Tom Boyle.
I don't know.
Tim Boyle. Who could forget Tim Boyle?
All right. I was
we only have
letters.
we only have a couple left.
Okay.
Let's see.
I just knew Boyle because you said Laura
Update guy
Flynn.
on the midday show.
Well, that's no hint.
Who sits in Wallach's seat right after us?
Did Tim Tebow start a game for them?
No. He was a personal protector, but did not start a game.
Oh, so McCown. Josh McCown.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
That's a good
And
one.
we have I'm sorry, there are 2 left. One you'll never get, so I'm just going to give it to you. His name is Chris Streveler. You'll never,
right.
He started
backed out of that season.
one game in 2022.
I might have backed out
against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I mean,
that might have been a game that I didn't
and
bother watching.
One other guy who has the same last name as a very famous Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning Giants quarterback.
Oh, Sims.
Right.
But it's not Chris Sims.
No.
So it's the other Sims. Oh, God. Yeah, I know who it is. I thought he might be okay.
He showed me something. This might be
I'm not going to remember the guy's first
Matt
name.
Sims.
Matt
is his
Sims,
name.
yeah. Okay.
Matt Sims.
I thought that kid might have been all right. So you can see why Geno Smith's not heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Wow, that's bad.
Yeah.
You got more than half of them.
No, I'm not even saying for my performance. I'm saying like Trevor Siemian.
Oh, yeah, the quarterbacks have been horrific.
I mean, that was impressive that you got, what's his name, Simeon. I mean,
no, I didn't. I just knew that they had a tall kid from Denver.
Right.
I got him and Osweiler mixed up. Yeah, it's bad. When you put it in that context, it's really
I'll
bad.
even give you credit for saying Tom Boyle when it was Tim Boyle. Close enough.
And I knew, and the kid from Baylor lit it up against Michigan State.
Bryce Petty.
Bryce Petty, and Michigan State beat Baylor. It was like 65-60. And that Petty kid was just throwing it all over the place. And they drafted him in like the 4th round. And everyone got very excited.
Yeah.
And then he was terrible.
Right.
Very hard to find a quarterback. Congratulations. You've done it twice in the course you've had. You're basically going to have 40 years where you've had 3 quarterbacks. Yeah.
Tim Boyle has been with the Packers, Lions, Bears, Jets, Texans, Dolphins, Giants, and Titans.
Jeez.
Yeah, some of these guys were third-string quarterbacks that just played at the end of the year when I had bagged out on the season. So I have not seen every Jet game, it turns out. All right, we'll be back. Chris Forsberg will be with us.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the
the backhand and score. Two-hand slam.
Boston's home for sports.
I love this team.
98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
San Antonio scored 12 straight points in the fourth quarter to take a 13-point lead, and the Celtics never recovered in a 125-116 loss in Texas last night. Derek White scored 34 points to lead the Green in a game in which Jaylen Brown was ejected in the first half. Victor Wembanyama scored 39 points for the winners. Celtics visit Oklahoma City tomorrow night. In other NBA news, Miami beat the Washington Wizards 150-129. And in that game, Bam Adebayo scored 83 points. That is the second highest ever for one game by an NBA player. Bruins beat the LA Kings 2-1 in overtime at TD Garden. Charlie McAvoy sent everyone home 39 seconds into OT, but that was after he got hit in the mouth with a puck again.
You know, I wish the hits would stop coming, honestly. And just, it's tiring. My mouth honestly can feel worse, so but I'll get some work. We got a really good dentist here who's great.
Bruins have won 13 straight home games. They host San Jose tomorrow night. Patriots have signed Green Bay free agent wide receiver Romeo Doubs to a 4-year contract. Baltimore Ravens last night pulled out of their big Max Crosby trade with the Raiders over what they say is a failed physical. Red Sox lost to Detroit in Fort Myers 7-2, and the U.S. lost to Italy 8-6 at the World Baseball Classic. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Never ever replace your roof again. It's East Coast Metal Roofing's Spring into Savings event where Sports Hub listeners get 10% off the new roof that's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Call 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
What will free agency mean for the Pats? We'll let you know. We'll let you know. Listen on air and follow us online at 985thesportshub.com/offseason.
My buddy and me. With friends like these.
To climb up a tree.
You know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Technical. And now Jaylen Brown goes to another official. Somebody better go grab Jaylen. And now finally, Shireman, Derek White, they got to step in front of Jaylen.
One time, and he had like a small Red Bull refrigerator or whatever, and he pulled out this bag of weed. It might have been a pound, but usually when you see a pound of weed, it's compressed in like a brick. This was just a loose bag of like a pound of weed.
Like a Ziploc freezer bag.
Like a Ziploc freezer bag, like stuffed fat with weed. Like, and he's like, "Do you want to smoke?" And I'm like, "Sure." and I think I might even faked it because I got weirded out that I was gonna freak out. Like I'm not a big weed smoker, and so like I got like concerned I was gonna flip out.
He's California sober.
I don't think he's like a drug addict, but I don't even know if he's ever really said it. It's just if you like Google like sober celebrities, they say like Pharrell, and I'm like, I don't know, he smoked weed. But some people don't consider that doing anything. All right, so Chris Forsberg is here. He's got a mustache and a mohawk, like a pseudo mohawk.
I believe we're calling it a mully mo.
Okay, why?
Because the mully is like the mullet, and then the mo is the mustache.
Yeah, if you let that grow in the back for like another 2 months, you will have a real mullet, like a real one, not a pretend mullet that so many people try to get away with. But you'll have a real mullet.
A lot of people have asked like why, and I don't have a good answer.
Well, you said last week, Fred, you weren't here on Wednesday, I think?
I was not here last Wednesday.
Yeah, so Forsberg indicated that the fresh cut and the lines that he had in the side had to do with Tatum's return. Like this is something that he had done because he really wanted to spruce things up because he was going to be on the TV a lot, and he wanted the hair to be on point.
Might be getting national eyes on him. Right. Those networks might see him and go, "Who's this fresh-faced hipster?"
With that in mind, he did that to his head.
Right. Well,
you can't just do this overnight. You have to put the time and the energy into growing this out.
A lot of thought goes into that.
Right.
The problem with the mullet and the mustache now is this is a look a lot of high school kids are now doing. This is almost like a high school football look now. Like if you would have done this 10 years ago,
well,
I would have given you a lot of credit because it would have been very bold.
I do not grow facial hair very fast, so it would have taken. Like in high school, I had no chance. Maybe even 10 years ago, I had no chance. So I'm just at the mercy of my body. But I don't want to look back and I don't want to be 70 years old and when I lose my hair, I don't want to say, man, I wish I had grown a mullet at some point.
I don't think you would say that.
I think I might.
No, I don't think that's going to be one of your deathbed regrets.
We're not made to go through life like cookie cutter, looking the same every time.
Yes, that's the whole point.
Oh,
why would you think you're going to lose your hair when you get older?
I mean, doesn't it come for everybody at some point?
Pretty much.
Yeah. No.
Well, I hope not. Knock on wood. One of the
most men lose their
traits.
Yeah, but not like if he has hair now. I don't see him losing his hair.
How old
he's
are you?
not going to be bald.
45. You want to pull?
No, he's got to
see
what's going on up there. Okay.
All right.
So
he'll lose.
Valid thought.
Yeah.
So
I got to ask Chris's opinion on something.
Shoot.
Okay. This is as someone who is into home improvements and home maintenance.
Please be Ryobi.
Yesterday, had to take advantage of the day all day. So there was Topgolf first, and I go home and
what a day.
Now it's late. I mean, I had errands to run and then Topgolf, and I go home and I'm going to try and take a late nap. But as I laid down on the couch, I thought, what would be really good right now is to do some garage/shed equipment swapping.
Ooh.
And as long as I'm getting stuff out.
Wait, you taunted the weather gods by rotating?
And that's my question.
Oh.
Now listen. It was not just a means to get the snowblower out of the garage. As long as I'm getting stuff off the floor, might as well power wash that son.
Wow.
Because it's filthy dirty from the winter.
Pre-spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning.
You're wild, man, Hardy.
But as a result, I said, all right, snowblower's going away. Take the driveway stakes out. Everything done.
I'm just saying you're tempting the weather gods, and I'm slightly ill at ease. But I did something similar yesterday.
What'd you do?
We had so I think I've told you one of the first home improvement projects I did that was a little ambitious was I rebuilt my deck a couple years ago, and because of a stupid amount of snow that we got this year, it froze on my back roof, and then it slid off. And one night we heard this major crash, and it destroyed one of my railings on the deck. Shattered it into a million pieces.
Composite or wood?
Trex, so composite.
Okay.
And so I had to go up to the depot yesterday and get a new railing. But likewise, I was invigorated by the weather. Said let's patch this up. Let's get this back to being safe on the deck.
There you go.
And I replaced the railing.
Okay.
And we're rock and roll. But in my mind, I'm thinking,
no, you're fine with that. There's not going to be another big snowfall to the point where it's going to be in danger of being damaged.
We had that 1 year with the April 1 storm.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago. It was a long time ago.
This winter's been brutal.
Yes, it has. It's been terrible. So Hardy mentioned that he went to Topgolf yesterday. You guys are all going to Topgolf today.
Ooh, yes, right after the show.
Up our spot, man.
Yep.
That's right. There's going to be a huge crowd of people now that I've mentioned that. Good call.
You said you would not be attending.
No, I'm not. You're doing it after the show. It's very difficult. Now, me and Bobby Bronson are going out to breakfast tomorrow.
Oh,
I can have a meal after the show. The ideal time for me is whenever there's an appointment. So on Thursdays, I don't have my children. But if there's an appointment, and my son, it doesn't really matter anymore. But I got to get my daughter from school, but the 2 o'clock is usually when I say I can do it from 11 to 12 or 2 o'clock. 12 to 2 is a time of rest for me. I need to be resting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Whoop says I'm not getting very much sleep, and so if I don't start knocking into that sleep that pretty quickly,
you could be home by 12:30. You can come for an hour. I mean, I booked the bay for 6 hours, so we'll be there until 5.
Yeah, they were talking about, John, without your participation, they were talking about what they were going to play at Topgolf.
Oh, we doing Angry Birds? What are we doing here?
Do you have an opinion on what we play?
Oh, not really. I don't care.
How do you know if you should be there then? You don't have an opinion as to...
I even have an opinion on what
well,
to do
I mean,
at
look,
Topgolf.
they have the par 3, like 9 holes of par 3s.
That's my favorite game, though.
Yeah, that's the one I usually play when I go.
Okay.
Beaton, who never says a word, he's got an opinion.
I know.
In terms of what game we play.
Well, Bean's a big golf guy.
Okay, here's my other
It's
thing.
the only sport he could ever play.
I need Fred to weigh in on this. How do you feel about people bringing their clubs to Topgolf?
Well, we had this discussion yesterday. Hardy said that told John to remember to put his clubs in his car or vice versa. And I went, oof. Yeah, because we go a lot at my parents' place in Knoxville. Like I take my kids because it's something to do. And I always do think it's funny when guys are walking through with like a bag.
I might be guilty of the same thing. When we're in Myrtle, I will laugh at the people bringing their clubs, and I'm like, that's just a little bit too much.
It's like,
but I'm going to bring my clubs today, so don't worry.
Yeah, I'm bringing my clubs.
That's
bringing
fine.
my clubs. We're going.
I could even see
clubs.
taking a driver in there, but
see the driver I would leave at home because the tees are purposely low. And it's the thing that is least like hitting your own clubs when you hit your driver at Topgolf.
Well, anyway, because if you think it's the most fun is just to see how far you can hit the ball, then I could see bringing your own driver, which I wouldn't do anyway. But the whole bag, I mean, you're taking it very seriously.
What if
you're
you
using
brought
it as a training tool?
What if you brought the Sunday bag with like 4 or 5 clubs in it?
Yeah, I think that's more than acceptable.
I disagree, but I think the lesser the club, the amount of clubs, the less like a loser you look like. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Are you bringing your clubs in today, Hardy?
Yes, and the majority of people
I don't want to make
because the time of day I go, it's not people there hanging out, eating, drinking, having fun, playing it like it's some kind of a game. You know, when I go in the middle of the day, weekdays, the majority of the people in there have their clubs with them. They bring their clubs.
Not since I brought a bowling ball to youth bowling have I walked into a fun establishment with a ball of choice. So
that's a good way to put it. It's like if you met people to go bowling and you brought your own bowling ball. Yeah, that's like it. Like they have bowling balls there. Like we're just bowling. What's wrong with you?
It almost sends a message of I'm taking this very seriously.
Yes. I am at essentially an arcade, and I'm taking this exceptionally seriously. Yes.
Would I bring my own joystick to an arcade? Right. Like
yeah, you're playing like an arcade game.
But you bring your glove when you go to the arcade.
True. That is true, especially if it's lucky.
Your lucky glove and your elbow brace.
That's right.
So just know I'm a little ill at ease at this, but I'm also a competitive person, so I will bring my clubs. And then, but what I lose when I bring my clubs to Topgolf is the ability to then blame the Topgolf clubs for my suckiness.
Well, Hardy, I think, brings clubs because you use it as a training opportunity. Correct, Hardy?
Yeah, in the winter, it's a place where you can actually, keep working on the game a little bit.
And it's right in your backyard.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes from my house.
That's the thing, is that he's got it right in his backyard. So
must be nice.
Yeah, if he lived, 20 miles from Topgolf, I don't think he's going nearly as much. But since it's only 8 minutes from his house, he's got a membership. He's got the whole nine. Don't think he's doing you any favors today.
And Walk, you don't keep your clubs in your car 24 hours a day?
Well, not in the winter.
No,
I do.
I
do.
Take it out.
See, that's
what they can't.
They're
going to
shrink.
No, you shouldn't keep them in the winter or the summer. The summer is just as bad.
Why?
Might
why
be
is the
worse.
summer just why?
Because the heat inside the car, and then it starts to affect. There's glue, and there's all these materials that are used to manufacture the gloves. It's bad for your grips. It's really bad for the driver and the hybrid. Anything that has like a glue element to it. Yeah,
and it's also an affront to God. I mean, you're essentially putting your clubs in hell. It's like leaving a dog in a car in the summer. You wouldn't do that. Why would you do it with your clubs?
If I do have to leave the clubs in the car, I crack a window and I put a note up. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Well, if you go to Topgolf at noon and people see that there's clubs in a car and it's over 70 degrees, they'll break a window.
Yeah.
They'll go in there to get it.
See, the problem for me is I never know when a golf match is going to break out, and because I live so far from everywhere I frolic, that I have to have the clubs available.
I have been known to carry a spare set. I keep one set at the course where I play for the most part, and then I've got the back.
That's like what I do with my assault weapons. I always have one at the ready. One under my pillow, one under my driver's seat. I got them all over the place.
Do you switching subjects? Do they have this? Do you have the same clubs in the?
One would think. I do not.
Doesn't that mess with you?
Yes.
Interesting.
But it's also an excuse.
And it's an experiment.
Yeah. And at the end of it all, as you already stated, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
true. It really doesn't matter.
All right. Well, listen, you guys have a wonderful
Fred,
time.
did we make you want to come anymore based on this conversation?
I'm not going because I don't like Topgolf or because I don't want to hang out with you guys. I'm going specifically because of the
you don't
time
like
of day.
pretzel bites.
Oh, no, I like the pretzel bites there.
Pretzel bites
not
are
with,
very
not with
good.
cheese.
Sampler?
Pretzel bites are very good.
Want to do sampler today?
100%. And Wallach gets not.
The wings are terrible.
Why?
The wings are terrible.
What? How did I get dropped out of this?
The pretzel bites
What
are
a
very
pain in the
good.
ass you are.
The nachos
Shut
aren't
your
even
mouth.
particularly
Who
good.
invited you?
The nachos are fantastic.
I didn't say they're bad. They're not particularly good. Now the pretzel bites are excellent.
The chicken sliders.
I've never had them.
Hot honey pepperoni pizza.
Ooh, I haven't had that yet.
How bad could a pepperoni pizza?
Hold on, can I just to bring this conversation full
just
circle?
keep it going.
Thank you.
This is great.
I'm going to Costco beforehand.
Oh, good.
So, do I do the $1.50 hot dog? Is there a danger of eating too much at Costco before I go to the Topgolf?
There's never any danger of that. Come on.
Okay. I just want to
All right.
No. Who's going to blame you for that?
I don't.
Monty has something to say.
Oh, God.
Monty, go ahead.
Hey, you're able to watch out, man. I went to Topgolf once and I saw Wallach there, and in between his shots, he wore this like falconry hood in order for him to lock in. So yeah, he's going to bring his golf clubs and he's going to bring his little helmet there.
Yeah, he does put something that takes away his peripheral vision, so he doesn't get spooked.
I bet.
Where's my hood? A corner of my eye.
Keep me focused.
I want to flee.
Some S&M site must sell like falconry hoods for humans.
Yeah, John, we should have Falconry Friday where you wear a falconry hood the whole show. It would get our YouTube numbers up. Where's that CBO? Where's the chief business
Bring him
officer?
back and see if
I have
he
an idea
exists.
for him.
Okay, good.
Expense it.
Yeah, well, listen, they expensed
Oh.
the puppets apparently, and that wasn't even our idea.
How about that?
Oh no, he found it.
Oh my God, that's actually disturbing. It's more disturbing than one of the Mexican wrestling masks.
From parts unknown.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. I don't want to see what's coming from the sides.
DIY falcon hood for humans. You can buy this from Rat's Ko-Fi shop.
Oh yeah, Rats.
Of
What's
course.
What's the price on
That's
that thing?
That's Ratso Sloman's place. Rat's consignment shop. Yeah, they got all the good hoods.
I believe this is just the plans to make it yourself. And it's $5.
See, $5. Humiliation Harry's has it for $2.99. All right. Well, he'll just give it to you if you beg. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. We will actually discuss your Boston Celtics with our friend Chris Forsberg in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the.
Make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Tudger and Hardy.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
On the Sports Hub.
I disagree with it. You know, they make a big deal about primetime games and stars playing and being available. He definitely got pushed. First take probably warranted. Emotions are high, but second take, like, you gotta understand that national TV games, two of the best teams in the league, and you make a big deal about stars playing, and you trigger happy to throw somebody out the game. So I disagree with it.
I think that's what synthesizes Jaylen Brown's frustration is that he wants to be treated like a star. I don't think Jaylen Brown feels like he's celebrated enough, which very well might be true, but I think I finally pieced it together. I mean, this whole problem with the officiating and he wants to be treated like a star.
He certainly wasn't last night. And
well, he didn't make the Olympic
slap
team.
In the face.
He didn't make the Olympic team. He's not like marketed like some of these other guys. I mean, he probably looks at Anthony Edwards and goes, "I'm better than him." Why is Anthony Edwards got this whole shoe campaign and all this other stuff? He desperately wants to be a star. And this is a problem. So Chris Forsberg from NBC Sports Boston is
You don't
here.
think he's been a star this year?
No, I do, but I think so. There's different levels of stardom. There's like basketball fan stardom that recognizes you're very much an MVP candidate, and then there's Anthony Edwards has a huge. You know the importance of sneakers
For sure.
And Anthony Edwards has a whole line in Nike. I believe it's Nike has put out. I think it is Nike has put out this like giant campaign where he like disses other players in it. There's like this cheap animation of other players that he's dunking on. And I think that if you look at the way guys, I mean, Kobe's got a new shoe coming out, of Lower Merion shoe coming out, a sneaker. So, I mean, if you look at these things, no, he's not. I mean, look at who they played last night. I mean, Wembanyama is marketed way more than Brown. I just think that, he's not a household name. I would say that, and I think he believes he should be.
And I think that's part of his frustration is that usually when guys elevate to the level that Jaylen is at now, you get a better whistle. And is that fair or not? Like, we can argue that, but I think he's disappointed that this has been a perpetual problem for the season. And it came to a head in the last San Antonio game when the Celtics shot only 4 free throws at home. But I don't think that was on his mind when it happened last night. I think it's just the totality of the season and the fact that guys like SGA and Luka and all these guys get whistles, and Jaylen Brown's putting up crazy numbers, and he doesn't get anywhere near that sort of respect. And so sometimes you got to go fight for yourself. Hate that it happened in that moment last night when he seemed to be on a whole nother level. Like, that was some of the best basketball Jaylen has played through the first quarter plus in terms of like distributing the basketball and attacking the basket. That one missed dunk that would have like totally just turned that arena over. So I get why he's frustrated. You probably can't let it get to the point where you get tossed, but
probably he lost it. He absolutely lost
Tyler Ford wasn't gonna ring him.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying his original reaction to kind of getting bumped out of bounds is over the top, and Tyler Ford gave him the deserved tee, but then wasn't going to ring him up.
Right.
But then he just went into orbit after that.
He went back a second and a third time, and look, if someone was gonna toss him, it should have been
Tyler Ford,
right.
Who gave him the initial tech.
It would have never been a thing if Tyler Ford said he escalated it too much to a point where I had to eject him, and whether that's pointing or profanity or just refusing to let it go. Because usually you see the refs go, all right, enough. And if you continue to push it, but it's the same deal. There are players that get leeway. So Draymond Green can be as demonstrative as anybody, and Luka can complain to no end, and these players don't get thrown out. The fact that other ref came rolling in to throw him out is just baffling.
The notion that it's a nationally televised game and it's Jaylen Brown and everyone's watching becomes part of the conversation, that bugs me. It has nothing to do with it, and I see you thinking about it here.
Well,
it's like, it's a nationally televised game. What are you tossing Jaylen Brown for? You get tossed for doing the wrong thing, whether it's a national game on a Sunday night, or whether it's a Tuesday when no one's watching. There's no difference. There shouldn't be any difference, and there shouldn't be any.
That, but
there shouldn't be any. There shouldn't. I say that there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any consideration from the refs in terms of how many eyes are on this right now.
If there was robotic referees, then we could do that. But there's a human element to everything, and I think even referees understand when there's a bigger moment. And I think they lost sight of that last night.
There's no bigger moment than Tuesday night basketball.
This Tuesday in Texas.
Tuesday regular season, yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
you got the huge market, San Antonio. It's a whole thing.
It's still a big game. I guess I get it from the Boston fan perspective that you're frustrated that one of your best players, especially when you're missing Peyton Pritchard, when Tatum's still on a minute restriction, complicates things. But I'm with you. Like the call, the play itself didn't seem like I understand Jalen's frustrated in the totality. That particular call, I was like, just kind of let it go. The fact that he put himself in a position where he could get thrown out, and maybe you shouldn't get to that point. But the referee who should have had the discretion to decide whether he had crossed the line did not even have the temerity to make the call. It was the guy who swooped in out of nowhere, and that's what's frustrating.
Total lack of temerity, no question about it. How do you think Jason Tatum has looked since he's been back? Are you surprised how much he's playing?
Yes, I expected more rust, and I understand he hasn't been super consistent, quarter to quarter, and I think that's only natural as you're working your way back. But from the first quarter against Cleveland to the second quarter against Dallas to some stretches of last night's game, even early fourth before he had to come out because of I think they were worried about his minutes, he's looked like Jason Tatum, and I didn't expect that. I just thought there would be more bumps in the road, and it's encouraging to think where he can get to in 5 weeks when the playoffs start. It's credit to, again, the fact that I kept thinking he would be back in February because he was just so far ahead of pace, but then he took that extra time so that he looked more like Jason Tatum when he got out there, and now I understand why it was such a priority to wait until he felt more like himself.
Are they the best team in the East?
So they've certainly
slow down. Think about it.
Okay, let me.
I like how you audibly sighed. A very.
I feel bad disrespecting Detroit. Now, obviously, they're kind of going through it right now. I don't think it's indicative.
Well, they won by 50 points last night, so they're okay.
I mean, they'll be fine. The softer schedule is going to help them pad the lead at the top of the East.
So you think that you think Detroit's going to win the East?
Definitely the one seed. The Celtics made the fact that the Celtics made it this close is encouraging. That but more so that they'll hold on to the 2 seed. One was going to always be difficult. Celtics have, including last night, 12 of the final 18 are against plus 500 teams, and 2 other games against Charlotte, who is playing like one of those teams. So it was going to be daunting to even make up 2.5 games, let alone now needing to make up 3.5. So the one to me is not even a question. As far as Detroit, the physicality, can they play offense to a level when things get more difficult in the postseason with the lack of shooting they have? And will they look back at the trade deadline and realize they probably should have done something more than Herter? That could bite them. But look, you still have Cade, you still have just all that physicality. They're set up to be successful. Cleveland is the only other team that I kind of throw in that mix. New York is what New York is, but with Harden and if they have a healthy Allen, the Cavs will be better than what we saw on Sunday. But I still like where the Celtics are at.
I'm sorry, Hardy, but it does seem like they should win the East.
Yeah.
I mean, out of teams with a realistic shot, they have the 2 best players, not the best combination of players. They have the 2 best players. They played very well without one of them. They should win the East.
It's fair.
I know they lost to the Knicks last year, but that shouldn't happen again.
For whatever reason, the Knicks play the Celtics differently.
Here's what Detroit should do this year. Detroit should go to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose. That's probably the timeline for them. And I think you're right. They still have cap room and all this. Yeah. They have all their assets. I don't know why they didn't do more last year. I guess it proved out to be not a bad decision. But they'll make a major addition in the offseason. And then maybe they're the best team in the East. Or there's a conversation. And then you maybe rematch in the Eastern Conference Finals next year. And it goes a little bit differently. But I would definitely think the Celtics, with the return of Tatum and the way that he's playing, they got to be the favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
Cleveland blows. Cleveland not good.
They are the betting favorite in the East, and the last odds I saw have Oklahoma City as the clear favorite to win it all, but the Celtics were second.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma City, same thing with San Antonio. I think San Antonio plays Oklahoma City in the Western Conference final, and then Oklahoma City beats them in San Antonio maybe next year. Mm-hmm. This is just how basketball generally goes.
Typically, although OKC last year is the sort of the outlier.
But OKC was good before that.
Yeah.
But
they just never. Still, usually you have to go through it. In
right,
the
I understand. But it wasn't like OKC, like Indiana, if they would have won last year. But like OKC was kind of going through that progression. Maybe they skipped a step. But, Detroit lost in the first, or they lost to the Knicks in the first round. I think it was the first round.
It was the first round. And they should have won that series.
So they come back this year. They win. Like you say, maybe they have the one seed. They won't have to play the Knicks. So Charlotte, if they have to play Charlotte, that's going to be a little bit difficult. But you would assume they'd get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then they lose to the Celtics, and they're on their way next year. Yes, Hardy, I apologize.
No, it really has to do with teams like that, like San Antonio, because I think maybe, Chris, it was you who had said like they're still on the young side and they're figuring things out. Last night, and I know Jaylen Brown was out of the game for more than half of it, but they seem to have enough guys with enough poise and enough playmaking ability to, I don't know if they're skipping a step. I don't know if they're automatically ready to overtake OKC, but they seemed more ready last night than I thought they were.
One of the few young teams that you would think has a chance to get out of the playoffs, right? Like the fact that normally you need to go through it a couple times, feel the pain, and then come back motivated. But when you have Wemby, when you have a player that impacts the game on both sides to that level, you have a chance. And that's what it'll ultimately come down to. If he's the best player on the floor, if OKC and San Antonio play in, like, let's say that's the matchup at the end, they have a chance. But I just the way OKC can sort of level up, the way SGA performs at the end of games, it's the fact that they've been through it, they've won a title. And I know everyone says it's so difficult to repeat, but they're just young and naive. They won't get caught up in that.
I guess I expected, watching San Antonio to see a little less poise and see it be more of just, the Wembanyama show, because I haven't watched, too much of them this year. But they've got enough pieces to where they're legit. I'm not saying they're totally ready. They're just more ready than I thought.
100%. Again, I think there's very few teams that I would look at. Okay, so Detroit, still young, still kind of going through it. We think they're going to probably take one more lump before they're ready to take that next step. The Spurs, I don't feel that way. I feel like Wemby's that good that it's just a complete difference maker, and that they could really throw themselves into the mix for the title this season. And as good as their young pieces are, too, you had a world champion like Luke Cornett.
Yes.
Off you go.
Yes, very true.
4 points last night.
Yeah,
but it was his presence.
Well, they canceled the big night at the Magic City night. They didn't get the amount of promotion they wanted.
Did you?
It's a disaster for them that they didn't get to have the night.
You got me.
It's a disaster for that documentary series that they actually canceled the event.
It's not like more people are going to watch it now than had they actually had the event and nobody said anything about it.
That's why it's always a good idea to really bitch.
Yeah.
And make it like super, super a topic of conversation.
Did you see the hoodies?
No.
Oh, they're amazing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So there's like a Magic City hoodie that the Hawks made for that night.
Oh.
I think they were going to sell at the game. And now they think they're going to be, like the losers in the Super Bowl. They get shipped off to some nation. And
I'd still sell them.
Sell them anyway.
I mean,
well, they should. And they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
If they put them out there, they're going to make some money.
So good for Luke Cornett to just keep that story going for another couple days. It's always good to pen a op-ed about something as trivial as Magic City night, which I contend they never really were going to do. If you don't know, Magic City's a strip club in Atlanta. It's like a big deal. I've never been there, but it's a big deal. Jamie Gertz, who's one of the owners of the Hawks, has a docuseries coming out on one of the streaming services about Magic City. They wanted to do a Magic City night, I think, with every intention of getting it canceled. And then Luke Cornett, like an idiot, when the story had died down, penned an idiotic open letter about how he didn't want it, which then raised the story up again. And they got priceless publicity all over the place with this faux outrage. And so good on Jamie Gertz. I mean, she learned something from her time in less than 0.
Do you respect the organization more knowing that it was probably going to get canceled and that would be a good promotional vehicle for the documentary?
Absolutely. I think that it's a harmless thing you can't get in trouble for, and you just like dangle a thing out there, watch people get outraged, talk about it, and it's like not something you can get in trouble for. The place exists. You didn't break the law. You didn't like go after a downtrodden populace or like go after a minority or a religion. Just saying strip club. Cornette tried to turn it into like, the sex worker thing, and I don't think you're going to get most of America with that.
So Luke didn't connect with Ma and Pa Kettle in Iowa. You don't think he connected with all those people in Middle America?
That would require them reading the actual statement, which I'm not positive can happen given our attention spans.
I like Luke, and so I don't want to go at him, but his writing is really good. I don't know if he often blogs about things other than this, and it's almost frustrating how someone can be so good at multiple things. If he could take my job in a heartbeat, so let's say that.
Oh wow, big deal. All right, so Chris Forsberg from NBC Sports Boston. He's got the mustache and the mullet. He'll be out with the boys.
I gotta go
today.
get loose.
Yeah, they'll be at Topgolf. All right, thank you, Chris. Here are the headlines.
Thank you, friends.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics lost to San Antonio last night, 125-116. Victor Wembanyama made 8 threes and scored a game-high 39 points. The Celtics' Jaylen Brown ejected in the first half for arguing a non-call. Celtics 1-1 on their road trip. They visit Oklahoma City tomorrow night. Miami got 83 points from Bam Adebayo. They beat the Washington Wizards 150-129. Adebayo's totaled the second most in one game ever by an NBA player. Bruins got a Charlie McAvoy overtime goal. They beat the LA Kings at TD Garden 2-1. Bruins have won 13 straight home games. They host San Jose tomorrow night. Patriots signed Green Bay free agent wide receiver Romeo Doubs to a 4-year contract. Red Sox lost to Detroit and Fort Myers yesterday 7-2. They play Minnesota this afternoon. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the DeMoore McKim School of Business at Northeastern University. Ready to take your career further? Join them for a week-long series of virtual info sessions to help you find the graduate program that truly moves you forward. Northeastern.edu/business bootcamp. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Clogged drain never happens at a good time. John Stewart Drain Cleaning with locations in Woburn and Norwood, and it's
Our Toucher and Hardy, listen at the end of this segment for a chance to see Bill Burr. The fallout from the Max Crosby deal going south is interesting in a couple ways. Everyone's really mad at Baltimore because they think they got cold feet and they reneged on the deal, and they figure that that was bad news. And the second thing is Crosby got all heated at Vegas for not playing him the last couple games of the season because he got a third opinion that said he could play. And now guess what? You can't even move because you're hurt. So it makes Crosby, in my opinion, look like an idiot.
He posted a video, if you remember correctly,
of him
online.
playing with his kid.
Yeah.
And so now he looks like an idiot because, yeah, you were hurt. You needed surgery. They tanking or not, I mean, they were protecting your career. Which way do you want it? I mean, there's guys like Ted Johnson that, he says he was out there and they were making him play through concussions and stuff.
Yep.
Zolak was telling us the other day he was playing through torn biceps.
Yep.
And so I'd much rather not be made to play than told not to play. That seems like you're protecting me.
Yeah, it's interesting. Baltimore's already pivoted. I was looking at a Diana Rossini tweet. Apparently, last night they called Trey Hendrickson and said, we want in. They've automatically jumped into the bidding. They just kind of left Max Crosby. It's not like we don't want to give up 2 first-round picks. We only want to give up 1. We made a mistake. They're like, no, we don't want any of this anymore. Even though Crosby, by every report I saw, is going to be healthy in about a month. Maybe a little longer.
I heard July.
But I guess my overall point is he's going to be healthy for next season.
Well, whatever it did, it scared him. Whatever's going on scared him.
But it wasn't. They knew he underwent surgery. It was understood he was going to be laid up for a while.
Well, maybe they got like an independent doctor to look at him, and he told him something.
They've got like such like in their minds, and I say they. All the NFL and everyone thinks they've got this stuff figured out because guys do come back from injury on a pretty predictable timeline. And if you're 3 months out from, meniscus surgery, you should be here. And if you're not, well, you guys are trying to sell us false goods here, damaged goods. Like, if you want the player, and it's like he's a little off on the timeline.
You knew the surgery he underwent, but there was no mystery.
They might have gotten him. Listen, if I gave up 2 first-round picks in the future of my organization to win now, and we're revolving half our team around this one guy. Look, Baltimore did something that's not done. So, fair play, that's, they're getting heat for it too. But, I mean, you can't act like it's preposterous that they went and said, on further reflection, or maybe something new came up, they said, this deal's not official and we're backing out. Which is great, though, because Vegas is screwed now. Because now because you're never going to get 2 picks again for him.
No.
So, 2 first-rounders.
No.
So, can you trade him now for a first-rounder? You can't do that. If you already had a deal done, because this completely, I see why Vegas is pissed, because this completely screws them. If you had a deal done for 2 first-round picks, you can't go around. Now no one's giving you 2 first-round picks.
Right.
That's not happening. So now do you take less and still move them? No.
I think, they're in a corner because...
Well, he's in a corner, too.
Well, just as far as the money goes, I mean,
yes,
putting Max Crosby's money back on that
Yes.
cap, they just spent over $250 million in free agency.
Yes, this screws
I think
them.
they have to either try and restructure or get rid of him.
Well, they can try to restructure.
But then you want him to play?
No, he's going to play for them. Absolutely. He's even gone out and there are reports now that everything's cool. Funny how this happened. Everything's cool. There are reports. There are reports that don't worry about it. He can play for
He's ready to suit up and play in Vegas again.
Yeah. All of a sudden, his attitude switched real quick because he looks like a fool. He looks like an idiot. They protected him, and it was enough to blow up a trade. And that's why he wanted to leave. So now he looks like he wanted to leave for no reason. And you know how he positions himself. He's team first. He wanted. It was so upsetting to have to leave Vegas. He wanted to be a Raider for life. I apologize. And then it's like, well, you were hurt and they didn't play you. That's what the issue is. And by the way, according to Bert, Davis, which I'm sure is a big plus, Davis met with him, and the new coach met with him, and everyone met with him to try to explain their side of things, and he still wanted to be moved because, that ball was already rolling. So everyone's kind of effed in this. Baltimore is not. Baltimore is their 2 picks back.
Well, now.
But now you have a damaged asset if you're Vegas, so I don't even see how you can trade him. And if you're Crosby, you've been very humbled. So you got to kind of play ball now. And Vegas is screwed because, as John mentioned, their cap situation for however it will be manipulated is completely blown out.
They got to do some serious work.
Because they operated like, I think he's the highest paid defensive player in football. I believe that's true. If not, I'm not far off. So now all of a sudden they have to take this immense contract back. And by the way, another thing, so much for national analysts. I heard too, because the Crosby thing happened, last night. I was leaving my daughter's practice, and I want to hear about it. And they're talking about how Vegas, a big playoff team next year, Vegas, with their line sucks.
Yeah.
They signed one offensive lineman, and it's a center, and all of a sudden, who on that team is good? Without Max Crosby, which is when they were making this, tell me without Max Crosby, who on that team is good? Bowers, conceivably Genty.
Yep.
And I think they might have a corner. We're talking about 3 or 4 players on that team are starting caliber NFL players.
Crosby, by the way, 3-year, $106 million contract, $35 million cap hit this coming year.
All right. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure they can make it work, but it's pretty funny, especially from the Crosby thing.
Their schedule, too.
They're not making the playoffs next year.
Well, obviously, within the division, but they also have to play Buffalo, the Rams, Seahawks. No.
They're playing the NFC West. And by the way, they're in the AFC West. And I have a feeling the Chiefs are making the playoffs next season. Caller number 10. In fact, I'd almost guarantee the Chiefs make the playoffs next season. Mahomes, I believe, will come out motivated. And they got Kelsey back, which is really everything.
Oh, yeah, and they'll be in Foxborough, too.
Oh, yeah, they won here last year. Caller number 10 in the contest line, 617-931-0985. We'll score a pair of tickets to see Bill Burr for the first ever comedy event at Centerville Bank Stadium, home of the Rhode Island FC. I don't know why that's in there, but someone really likes the Rhode Island FC. Don't miss Bill Burr live, June 12th at Centerville Bank Stadium. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m.
They might
at
make
Ticketmaster.com.
At Patriots, win, like last year. At Saints, win. At Jets, win.
One of those is a win, which is
just one of the 3.
The Jets. I don't think Seattle. I don't think the Saints are a bad team. Saints got a good coach, got a good, decent quarterback. I don't know. Why are they worse than Vegas?
Is it Tyler Shuck?
Yes. Who is probably going to be better than Mendoza next year because he's had a year in the league.
That's true.
I mean, it's not preposterous to say that New Orleans is better than the former worst team in football. I don't. Why? Because they got Mendoza?
Absolutely.
Like 5 games into the season, he's going to be wheeling and dealing. All right. He better be good, too. That's another thing. Because I don't know if he would have been the first pick in the draft if anybody else came out. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
So it was 80 degrees yesterday. It's going to be down into the...
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics now 1-1 on their 3-game road trip after coming up short in San Antonio last night, 125-116. Victor Wembanyama, 8 threes in this game. He finished with 39 points. Derek White, 34 for the Celtics. Jaylen Brown ejected in the first half. Celtics wrap up this road trip against defending champion Oklahoma City tomorrow night. Bam Adebayo scored 83 points last night. Miami beat the Washington Wizards 150-129. It's the second highest point total for one man for one game in NBA history. Bruins got an overtime goal from Charlie McAvoy. They won their 13th straight home game, 2-1 over the LA Kings. Mason Lowry, the other goal for the Bruins. They host San Jose tomorrow night. Patriots news today. They signed Green Bay wideout Romeo Doubs to a reported 4-year, $68 million contract. ESPN is also reporting they are going to release Anthony Jennings today. Baltimore yesterday pulled out of the Max Crosby trade with the Raiders over what they say is a failed physical. And this morning they have turned right around and signed free agent Trey Hendrickson. It is a 4-year, $112 million contract. Red Sox played Minnesota in Fort Myers today, and a stunning upset loss for the U.S. at the World Baseball Classic. They lost to Italy last night, 8-6. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. With over 50 trucks on the road, because your clogged drain is their emergency, go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
NFL free agency is here, and we've got it covered on air and at 985thesportshub.com/offseason.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallach?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports.
Pastrnak to McAvoy. Woo! He scores! Charlie McAvoy backhands home the game winner. Bruins take it 2-1.
That was a nifty way to. I hate this song. Now it's going to be in my head. It's not even that I dislike the song that much. It just lives in my head afterwards.
People like this song. I'm sorry that you don't.
I'm just telling you that it's going to torture me today. Now
I will take it out of rotation.
I hit you with the hardcore tactics.
Punk tactics.
No, but the first line is I hit you with the hardcore tactics. I know it's saying punk tactics. What, do you don't think I understood he was saying punk tactics?
Just making sure.
Yeah, maybe you don't understand the song, Fred.
I guess not. By the way, the United States, congratulations, men's baseball team in the World Baseball Classic for letting down the country. If you wanted all the glory that was going to come with this fake patriotism that was supposed to be around this team.
May not even get out of pool play, Fred.
Yeah, you got to take the repercussions.
Desgraciado.
By giving up 8 runs to Italy. Woof. I'll tell you, this kid, McLean, whatever, he plays for the Mets, right?
Nolan McLean, good young pitcher for the Mets, yes.
Yeah, not so good yesterday. Woof. Woof. Stinky.
Mm-hmm. Too stinky.
You keep farting.
What about if it is stinking inside?
McLean, you keep farting.
Stinky.
But you know how they all ran around and what an honor it was. Mm-hmm. And now, hey, it's such an honor, you loser. Yeah, because what they did is they expected to win. So they were setting it up. This is how my brain works. So they were setting it up when they won. It would be some kind of glorious, like when the U.S. women's and men's hockey teams won the gold medal. It would be a whole thing like that, which is nonsense. But now that you want that kind of celebration, what about if you don't even make it out of pool play?
I heard another player talk about how, they're just, thinking about, the troops and everything that's going on right now and give them something, because I'm sure, in addition to all of the actual military stuff that they're doing, they're keeping a pretty close eye on the World Baseball Classic.
That sounds like a Harper thing to say, too.
Yeah, he seems like a real hard on, especially basking in the wake
missions and missiles and bombings and wait a second, what was the score of the Italy game? Oh, why are we even doing this?
And by the way, a week removed from a massive celebration already for U.S. teams. They wanted to piggyback that. And so guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall people talking like that before either about the World Baseball Classic.
This time, the U.S. has had a hard time recruiting some of the better players for obvious reasons. Everyone's getting ready for the season, but this year, everyone hopped on board, so that's why it got more attention.
Skubal came to his senses, and he's not coming back.
Right.
But he might not have to anyway. Ryan Johnston, I apologize, but I did get a kick out of them losing to Italy. If they lost to Mexico, you understand. Italy, that's hysterical.
I was just reading this morning. It sounds like the U.S. manager, Mark DeRosa, might have thought they were already through the quarterfinal round.
He was unaware that they needed to win last night. Yes.
Oh, well, good. I mean, that's letting the country down in itself, just not knowing that.
Oh, I actually have it here. This is interesting.
Ton of respect for Italy. It's weird. We want to win. We want to win this game, even though our tickets punched to the quarterfinals, because Mexico plays Italy actually tomorrow. So the way the schedule lines up, this is an important game for us. Nolan McLean will start. He's on the bump and he's good to go. He's an absolute beast, and I expect him to throw the heck out of him.
He's going to give up 3 runs in 3 innings. That's a 9 ERA, ladies and gentlemen.
And ticket not punched.
No, the ticket's not punched. You got a bunch of stuff wrong when you talked. So much for this country. I guess this country's a bunch of buffoons that don't know the rules. You idiot. I'm sorry, but it really did annoy me. It legitimately annoyed me. The whole pompousness around the team. Get out of here. All right, Ryan Johnston. I do enjoy the Bruins. And last night, great call, by the way, on the overtime winner.
That was fun. Yeah, great job, Ryan.
That was 3-on-3 regular season hockey. I enjoyed. Maybe not so much in the Olympics, but the 3-on-3 regular season hockey, and that was a fun play.
When you're playing for 2 points, not for a gold medal.
Yes.
That's fine. But we 82 of these games. We gotta find a winner. So let's get it done. And 3-on-3 is not it can be very exciting. There are times when you play 5 minutes of 3-on-3 and it's fairly boring. But then you see wide open plays like you saw last night.
Yeah, and also not a lot of stoppages in play, so it's just kind of a real-time 5 minutes, so it's not that big a deal, even if not much happens. So you're around the team. How much do you think – I know they didn't make any additions, but they didn't make any subtractions. How much do you think that plays into the team's morale?
Yeah, I think the guys, more than anything, would they have welcomed, an additional player or two? Sure, I'm sure they would have been good with that. But this group is a pretty tight knit group and has been really for the entirety of the season. So I think they were fine, kind of getting the chance to make a run here as a group. And the fact that nobody got traded off of the roster, when there was discussion publicly, at least, about, guys like Andrew Peak or Victor Arvidsson, who are unrestricted free agents to the end of the year, maybe getting sent elsewhere. So I think the fact that those guys got to stay and that, they know that this group is, that has fought so hard together for 60 plus games now is going to be together for the last quarter of the season and hopefully for the playoffs. I think they're happy with that. I think, that was the least of what they, of what they asked of management was keep this group together and let's see what we can do.
Do you think that they'll make the playoffs?
I think it's going to come right down to the wire. Honestly, it's why, the game in Pittsburgh the other day where they get they have a 3-0 lead and end up only getting 1 point out of that. You look back to the winter or the outdoor game where they had a 5-1 lead on Tampa and only get 1 point out of that. You start to worry that those, lost points here and there, and there really haven't been that many of them this year. But that those few points that you leave on the table could wind up costing you in the long run.
Yeah, I certainly that's a concern. And just watching them last night, Ryan, there's been some inconsistent play, I guess, in the last couple of weeks, a couple of games where it looks like they just didn't show. And it was a weird game, just the low number of shots, but it was nice to see them, I guess, engaged and dialed in and focused for the entire 60. It didn't look like there were lapses, which seems to happen in those games where I find them to be a little inconsistent, where they just kind of lose focus. Did you see it the same way last night?
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say that they have not really found their best game since the Olympic break. I think they've, kind of been up and down a little bit. There were times, going back to the games over the weekend against Washington or against Pittsburgh where it was there, and then, there are times when it's not. Last night, it was certainly there defensively. You only give up 15 shots on goal in that game. Jeremy Swayman still had to make a couple of big saves, and LA hit at least one post last night. Offensively, they're still trying to find it. The line of Zaka, Middlestat, and Arvidsson. I'm trying to remember what the number was, but as far as their full strength goals since the break, I think the team has scored 14 or 15. And they've been on the ice for 10 of them, maybe, I think it is now. Pastrnak has been slow coming out of the break as far as his scoring. Morgan Geeky's had some chances that he hasn't buried, even though he has, a couple of goals since the break. But, some of their best players haven't been the same quite coming out of that 3 weeks off. And so, they're still trying to put it back together, and they've managed to get some points along the way, which is good that they're still banking some points when they're not at their best.
Wait, Buffalo. Wait, real quick, so Buffalo is going nuts, and they're they looks like they're going to be the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, and how embarrassing is that they are, or they might not be. Carolina might be, but whatever. It looks like they're in competition for it. They couldn't get anyone to come there at the trade deadline. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, Colton Parayko, we know publicly turned them down, essentially. That wasn't really supposed to be public, but it is. And but that's been Kevin Adams, who was the GM up until midseason here in Buffalo, when he got fired, he very publicly said last year, he talked about, there not being palm trees in Buffalo, and he talked about tax rates and things like that, hampering their ability to get players there. We saw it very publicly. I mean, a team that is, as you said, has been red hot for most of this season. They've won 8 in a row after last night. They're now 4 points up on Tampa Bay for the top of the Atlantic Division. I don't think too many people saw that coming, but they have figured it out. And it's a really good hockey team right now who's been on a roll for months. And Colton Parayko decided he'd rather stay in St. Louis than go to Buffalo. It's something that, I think that market is always going to deal with in some regard. The players who are there kind of made the public case that, no, we really like it here, and this is a good market, and, the fans really care about us, and they're showing up now that we're giving them a reason to show up. But, Buffalo's going to be and if you saw any of that game against Tampa Bay the other night, that's going to be a hell of a run in the playoffs for this Sabres team if they can keep this going. It's going to be a tough out.
Obviously, the home road splits are wild in opposite directions for this team, Ryan, but I find myself looking and saying, oh, no, they have a 3-game road trip coming up, and regardless of the teams, they just can't seem to get out of their own way. What's the biggest reason why?
Wish I knew. They can't lose at home. Last night was 13 in a row that they've won at TD Garden. They've lost 7 in a row on the road. Thankfully, a good chunk of those have been in overtime or a shootout, so they managed to get points. But to your point, John, it doesn't really matter what the opposition is. Well, they lost in Philadelphia to a team that's not making the playoffs. They lost to a team in Nashville that was dismantling their roster and sat out Ryan O'Reilly that night, in addition to the 4 players they had already traded. They go to Pittsburgh, no Crosby, no Malkin. They get a 3-0 lead, and they find a way to lose that game. I don't know what's going on there and why why it's so different for them away from TD Garden. But yeah, they better figure it out. They've got at Washington on Saturday, and then back-to-back at New Jersey and Montreal on Monday and Tuesday. So there's Yeah, they better figure it out here quickly because there are no easy games for this team.
I'll tell you, ABC loves that Boston Capitals matchup. They 2 Saturdays in a row they got that right there.
And then the following Saturday we got an 8:00 game on ABC against the Red Wings in Detroit. So 3 straight Saturdays getting the national TV coverage.
It might be kind of lame, but you have to take a little bit of pride in that U.S. networks almost entirely rely on the Bruins for ratings. They do. Yeah. Like every time they get an opportunity, it's the Bruins. Obviously, the Bruins, out of U.S. teams, have the largest collection of viewers. So I would take a little pride in that.
You got another Saturday afternoon game at the end of the season against Tampa on ABC. Also, I was just looking.
Right. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's listen. I mean, Boston fans we know tune in for these games, and the networks take advantage of that. And if they can't show Crosby and they can't show Malkin, and there are a select few markets that get those national TV spots. Generally, it's usually not teams out in the West. That's for sure. So they tend to stick with people like the Rangers or Philly or Pittsburgh or Washington, and where they know they're going to get their viewership.
I would just caution them, whatever they're going to show, just don't show the end of the game if it involves players greeting a player from the opposing team, because it confuses Fred, and he just
yes.
Thank you for bringing that back up.
Why are you confused about that, Fred? This is the guy that Marco Sturm referred to on the pregame show last night as the West Coast Patrice Bergeron.
Unfairly categorized again by Hardy, and I can't let it go because you took issue with it. That's not what I said at all. I said I didn't understand how they all figured out they were going to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kopitar stayed on the ice in a loss, and the Bruins all lined up to shake his hand. I don't doubt Kopitar. Kopitar's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's not very exciting, but he's a Hall of Famer. I get why they did it. I don't have an issue at all with why they did it. It was a innocent curiosity.
Do you think
of that of an innocent child?
Maybe they talked to each other. Do you think they all show up 5 minutes before the game and who are we playing tonight? Who's out there?
I don't know.
Do they have a big thing about what they're going to do?
Either Tanner Jeannot or Victor Arvidsson, who previously played in L.A. with Kopitar, probably gave a shout over to the bench and said, "Andre, hang out here for a second."
Thank you. So they didn't discuss it before the game. Exactly.
That would be my guess. Is somebody just skated over and said, "Hey, we'd like to say our goodbyes."
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you, Ryan. I don't think it was that big a deal. He explained it, and I accepted it.
Oh, my God. You rolled in here at 6 this morning. What the hell was going on at the end of the hockey game? How do they even know?
You promised you weren't going to mention the damage I caused to the walls.
It has happened. Some of the teams did it last year with Marc-Andre Fleury after he announced his retirement. In his last go-round in various arenas, teams stayed out to wish him farewell. Right. So it was, kind of in that vein.
Okay. I just wanted to know how it was communicated.
Anytime someone pays their respects, it's confusing to Fred.
It was more of a logistics thing than anything else. That's all. I didn't question the validity of doing it at all, Ryan. That's unfair.
Well, how do people normally tell you that they're going to stay and pay respect to you, Fred, for all that you have done for all of us?
Yeah,
you know what? That never happens, and it really should happen.
Hardy, I haven't received an award.
I haven't received an award of any kind for over 10 years, I don't think.
Thank you.
Next time I fill in, I'm going to stick around after the show and shake Fred's hand on my way out.
Number 2 on Barrett Media. I mean, I'm not even number 1 on Barrett Media.
Yeah,
my shows.
There should be like a reverse receiving line. No. When Fred leaves the station each day, we all line up and just thank him.
Yeah. When I did nights in Atlanta, in that room I never used, I got awards all over the place. I got in Atlanta. I don't even know what can't even remember why I got them.
From the weekly.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I don't even know how I got them. They came to me framed.
I got a bunch of those in Vegas.
Yeah, right? Like you used to get awards. Like Boston Magazine doesn't even do it anymore for radio.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
the Hillman won a Marconi since I've won a Marconi.
Yeah. They don't shake. I bet you they shake his hand on the way out of the studio.
And did you pay your respects to him?
Yeah.
If I would have saw him, I like him. If I would have I've never had a bad interaction with him. I don't dislike him at all.
I had a nice talk with him at the Red Bull cliff diving thing.
I'm very jealous of his lifestyle. I mean, he's like holding court at bars like in the Seaport. I'm lucky to get out to a Tango Mango in Newton Center. I mean, I don't have anything going on. Like my ex-wife was put somewhere, and she's like, she was with someone. They go, that's Greg Hill, and she's like, my husband's Fred Dutcher.
Who?
And they're like, who? And she's like he gets 10 times his ratings.
Yeah, I know.
He's got all these, and I don't know.
Never heard of him.
I think these were more fans. I'm not insinuating anything, but there was like women around him and like all this.
Yeah.
Like it was like a big to-do that he was in the place. I swear to God, it bothers me. And I don't do anything. I really don't do anything. I was sad that last night was the last game I'm coaching for my kids. All right, anyway.
What?
Ryan, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm a family man is what I'm saying. A divorced family man. A divorced family man.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's not what I wanted to be, but that's what I ended up.
Sure.
All right. Circumstances.
His wife split while he drank the booze.
That's true. Well, it was a mutual decision. At the very end.
Congratulations.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. Blind Scott's very upset at the call screener.
Just a couple of Patriots notes. Kayvon Chason signs with the Washington Commanders this morning, 1 year and $12 million, and the Patriots have released Anthony Jennings. So there you go.
Chason, not a big deal.
No.
And they
You'd
didn't
figure he'd get more. He did very well for a while last season.
They have to be. You got to figure they're going to draft an edge rusher in the first couple rounds.
Yes, you didn't get Crosby. You lost Chason and Jennings. I mean, you are now, I don't know about desperate, but in significant need of another edge.
All right. So this is my last update on this that I'm ever going to do. My last status quo update.
Okay.
I'm listening to the book by the guy from Status Quo, a English band. But you'll like this. And it's the last time I'll ever reference this thing again. So our hero has quit drugs. He's in his 50s. He remembers a cousin's friend. He's in England. He remembers a cousin's friend, a cousin from White Plains, New York, who he met when she was 16.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
It's not going there. So say 4 years go by. He's alone. He thinks to himself, why I should marry that girl. This is our hero's story. He flies over to the United States.
It's kind of going where I thought it was going.
He goes, hey, guy, where is this woman? He goes, I have bad news. She's pregnant and married. And he goes, I don't care. Let me see her. They meet at a diner. He says, I have to go on tour. You have to come back with me to England tomorrow. They've not seen each other for years. She's pregnant and married. She agrees to go with him, and our hero flies back with her where he goes out on tour and leaves her alone to have the other man's child alone across the Atlantic. That's our hero's journey. This is like the good part, like where he feels he's being vindicated for his true love.
It's still told as a hero's tale.
It's not looked upon in reflection as negative. It's looked upon in reflection as our hero's journey and the power of true love. A woman he's literally not seen for years, who he first met when she was 16, who's pregnant and married. He tells her, we got to go tomorrow. They haven't seen each other in a long, years and years and years, and have had very limited contact in general. But he was lonely. So he had, built her up in his head as this creature that he must attain. And, just the balls on the guy to go, we got to go tomorrow. He flew from England without even telling anyone. I don't know.
Maybe you're the one that's weird.
Yeah, maybe.
Huh? What did I do? I didn't do anything.
Why?
I didn't do anything.
All right.
By the way, you can email us. Go to 985thesportshub.com.
Jim in Arlington said, I'm a Jaylen Brown fan, but I think he was lucky to avoid a possible suspension. The second tee happened as he was marching aggressively toward Ford, the referee. The players who had restrained him thought the storm was over at that point. His path to Ford was unimpeded. He likely would have bodied him up or worse and gotten suspended.
Yes, but he'll probably get fined. He'll probably get fined by the league for not leaving the floor in a timely manner. I don't know how much the fine will be. Probably not a lot, but that'll be on top of what happened last night.
Oh, I got one from Blind Scott that caught my eye.
Oh, yeah.
I would never repeat this to anybody, but I think I figured out a long time ago because my brother-in-law is from Swampscott, so I've always liked her, but Fred was dating the lady from WZLX because I'm a huge fan of her. I never told no one. Well, thank you, Scott, for keeping that imaginary relationship a secret. You have very good information. I'm not. My big relationship with the lady from WZLX is he's referring to
Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle Murr.
Yeah.
No, I've never dated Danielle Murr.
All right.
I think she's delightful, but I've never had any romantic connection with Danielle Murr. Thank you, though, for insinuating that.
Not Gary Tangway, just now chiming in. It's not hard to see who's the superior pest of the show. Quality over quantity, baby. Gare Bear out.
All right, what did you want to do?
I liked this email from Pat about the opening segment from this morning. If you have Pat's email, came in about 8:30
Just read
this
it.
morning. Okay, I will read it. Hardy, have some things ready for this because this is in reference to Isaac. Says, hey, Fred, listening to the podcast, Walking the Dog, noticed during the first hour discussing Isaac, you said mentor first. Freudian slip. While some might view it as a simple slip-up, I think it's a sign of how much you're growing into your role as an educator. After being a teacher and an admin for 15 years, the first thing I always tell people about the job is that I learn more from my students than they do from me. So, proud to welcome you into the fraternity, brother.
Say my name.
Dan Roach says you're a good man, Freddie. Don't let anyone bring you down. He texted that to me when I
nice
said
of
I won
him.
an award.
Hey,
Thanks, Dan.
that's cool. There
Dan's
you go.
dog died. He had
Yes.
that on Instagram.
I saw that.
Dan Roach's dog died?
Very sad.
14 and a half years old.
Oh,
Very
I'm
sad.
sorry.
Yep.
That's awful.
Yep.
Just found out my dog's best friend. Haven't seen, out in the yard. We haven't been down for, a play date and days and days. Found out he just had surgery.
Oh.
A couple of different spots. And he's going to be cooped up for a couple weeks because Scout runs down there. And she tries to, get a little playful with him. But he's a big Bernese mountain dog. And he just kind of lays there while Scout jumps, over the top of him and around. But, sometimes he'll get up and try and play with her a little bit, but he can't even do that
Bernie's
right now.
mountain dog. Those are huge, right? Like
He's a big fella.
So what is he, like 4? Those dogs don't live long.
Oh, there's another neighbor who comes down when we're having the, the doggy play dates, and he feels the need to say that to the owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not going to have that dog much longer.
Yeah.
You might want to plan to get another one soon.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he's same age as my dog. Maybe like 6 months older, so
Yeah, but
he's 7 or 8.
Yeah, your dog's in much better shape.
Didn't know, but he's healthy, but he just, how they get those like fat deposits.
Yeah.
So he had to have a couple of those removed. Probably didn't even have to, but that dog might outlive us all based on his caretaking. He lives the life we should all be living.
Well, people are very weird with their dogs. Like the guy at the dog park that asked me when my dog pulled a muscle, asked me if I had scuba-da-babada on me, and I go, huh? And he goes, it's dog Advil. Yes, I have it on me.
Yeah. I keep it in a little dispenser here on my belt.
He legitimately asked me with no, just like it was asking me like the time of day.
Yeah, just like the treat bags, the treats in the bags. It's part of the kit.
Oh, it's
that I
right
carry
here in the
around
fanny.
with me.
Yeah, it's right here in this fanny pack I'm lugging around. That's the only good thing about the snow is I haven't had to go to that dog park. Ugh, that place. And now it's going to be all muddy, so there's no going there now. Wait for it to dry.
Paul wants to know if the Thuppets MASH song about John is Don and Carver. He said it sounds a lot like Don and Carver. Ryan, can you throw the Don and Carver drops?
John's been married once before. Yeah, that one ended in divorce. Fred just laughs across the mic. Yet mine did too. Welcome to life. John dreamed he'd call the Celtics game the Pocket Floor in Band of Fame, but they picked Drew Carter instead. Fred got divorced, John did too, but Drew calls the Celtics not John.
But Drew calls the Celtics not John.
So is that Don and Carver?
He called me a nice old guy.
I don't like.
If that's Don for Carver, that's Don for Carver. I've underestimated you.
That's really something.
Yeah, I'm not a nice old guy in the alleyway if you confront me.
Yeah, Don from Carver informed me that he was going to beat me up.
Piece of punk.
Yeah. And then
Bye.
Yeah, he was going to beat me up. But I wasn't overly concerned on the fact of him being exceptionally old. I figured I could handle that.
He called me a nice old guy.
I don't like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that.
Yeah, he was trying to get Don from Carver all riled up. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. No more status quo, I'm sad to say, but there you go. All right, here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
San Antonio Spurs beat the Celtics last night, 125-116 in Texas. Victor Wembanyama, 39 points for the winners. Jaylen Brown ejected in the first half of the Celtics. They visit Oklahoma City tomorrow night. Miami got 83 points from Bam Adebayo. They beat the Washington Wizards 150-129. The 83 points, second most ever for one player in an NBA game. Bruins beat the LA Kings 2-1 in overtime. They host San Jose tomorrow night. Patriots have signed Green Bay free agent wideout Romeo Doubs to a 3-year contract. Today they've released Anthony Jennings. Patriot free agent edge Kayvon Chason has signed a 1-year contract with the Washington Commanders. Baltimore Ravens pulled out of a Max Crosby trade last night, and this morning have signed the top free agent edge available, Trey Hendrickson, to a 4-year contract. And the Red Sox lost to Detroit in Fort Myers yesterday 7-2. They have today off. They will visit Minnesota in Fort Myers tomorrow. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Bill Burr Live at Centerville Bank Stadium. Get ready, New England. Bill Burr is coming to Centerville Bank Stadium Friday, June 12th. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10 o'clock.
Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. And the boys are off to Topgolf after the show to meet up with Chris Forsberg, who's actively trying to get attention, even though he's 45 with his haircut and mustache. He looks young for 45.
Riz was chiming in on email. Very impressed with Forsberg's haircut. What did he say? Chris most definitely goes to a black or Spanish barbershop. You can tell because they faded the sides really nice. Now he's impressed. I have even more respect for him.
I almost asked him if he does go to a predominantly black barbershop.
It's the Pennywise, penny nickel. He wears the hoodie from him all the time.
Because that is a fade that a lot of barbers in white barbershops, I would imagine, don't know how to do. You know, if you go to some old guy, he's not going to know how to properly fade your hair.
True penny.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. A little surprise pop quiz here for the Stack.
Oh.
Adam 12 shared an article from a radio consultant by the name of Fred Jacobs.
Yeah.
You know Fred.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Fred, you know Fred. Who writes a lot of articles, and they do, research for their clients. And he put together a list. They did a survey of public radio listeners, and he said, you want to go to the events that your listeners go to. You want to have a presence at those events. There's 15 different events here. It is your job to guess, where do public radio listeners go? And there's one at the top. 49% of public radio listeners have gone to not so much an event, but a regular
Farmers
occurrence.
market. Yeah, Adam and I had this discussion. Yeah, farmers market, there's no question about it. The library is another thing that they go to.
Library is definitely on the list, but not as high as a couple others.
Oh, yeah. Farmers market. Oh, and what was the other one that he said? So it's tote bag store.
No, but you could get a tote bag in the gift shop of this particular type of establishment.
Oh, a museum.
There you go.
There you go.
We'll sell those.
Yeah.
What percentage?
On free days.
What percentage of public radio listeners have attended a community theater event in the last year?
100%.
Well,
100%.
If you took just a random audience of Americans, it's going to be well under 1%.
Right.
It's going to be 0.0. So you have to keep that in mind.
Right.
Sure.
23%.
Very close. I'll give it to you. 20%.
Wow. That's a lot less.
Gone to a community
Do you know how?
theater event.
I like my answer.
Do you know
better.
how annoying that is? That if again, when have you been? Okay, short of kids' plays don't count. Adam, you can't answer. Have you ever been to community theater?
No.
Yes, I have.
Huh?
I have.
When?
I have. When I was a kid. And remember what you were talking about, Waltham High School? They used to have something called the Regal Players there. And my I lived in the town next door
Fine.
to that.
In your own free will as an adult.
No, I was taken. I didn't volunteer to
All
go.
right, so that as a kid, so the answer is no. But Adam, of course, probably does set design for community theater.
Some of it is John being of a certain age.
Yeah,
it was
they didn't have TV.
Well, it was a big thing,
Black and white.
Like my wife's dad, who died a long time ago, but the last guy in the world you would think would participate in community theater, but like in the 70s in Omaha, oh yeah, he was in the production of Guys and Dolls and a production of this, that, and the other thing. I mean, this guy was like a grizzled, like 2 tours in Vietnam vet. Yeah, like he was. It did not suffer any foolishness, but oh yeah, he did community theater.
Who did he play in Guys and Dolls? I was in Guys and Dolls in high school. Nathan Detroit.
That's the show they took me to see.
Same thing with Adam.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's the show.
He did instead of 2 tours of duties at Nam, he did 2 laps around Walden Pond.
Heroes among us.
Hey, look, my mother's 84 and she had a big concert last night. Performing in a big concert.
She performed? Oh, she sings, right?
She's part of a choir.
Yeah, she sings.
Yeah, I've never heard her sing.
Yeah.
I've been in the room while she sang with a bunch of people, but I've never heard her voice singing.
Like
She
solo,
doesn't,
you mean?
she doesn't sing around the house?
No. No.
Oh, your dad would love that if she did that, I'm sure.
It's got to just be white noise.
Who
by this point.
knows what they like or don't like?
So, like my mom's parents, when I would have to go to Long Island, my grandmother would be yapping nonstop in the kitchen. They lived in like a 1-bedroom house, like legitimately a 1-bedroom house. My grandma would be yapping in the kitchen, and for some way, my grandfather just did not even hear the noise, let alone what she was saying.
Oh, yeah, it's just...
And she's like talking to him, and he's completely tuned it out to like he can't even hear a voice, let alone what she's saying.
It's like a room fan at that point. It's just constant in the background.
Yeah, and she talked all the time, and he never talked, so he had somehow found a way. Yeah, if you've been married long enough, I mean, Hardy, you have to be at least at a certain... You've probably been married for a long time. You've never been divorced. Is that at a certain point, in order for a marriage to stay together, there has to be like you have to learn to tune the other person out. You absolutely have to. You have to learn that. When to listen and when not to listen.
My wife does that. I'm sure she tunes me out. She has to.
Yeah, well, it goes both ways. I didn't say just the man tuning out the woman. I'm saying, there's a lot of things that would drive you insane if you listened to it every time. Or if you took everything seriously, like you would have to, like, I'm sure when you're pretty locked in when she's talking about work, I'm sure. So, but I'm talking about other matters. All right. Very good. That'll do it for us. Enjoy your time at Top
I told
Golf.
you, she crazy.
All right. That'll do it for us. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.